All right, guys. Salud. We're family. Familia.
Okay. Where's my memo? I didn't know anything about no Corona.
Oh, sorry. I got a
I just found it in the fridge. I just found it in the fridge. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. Like, this makes
Sponsored.
especially with this movie. It's like, fuck yeah, man. This is time for the family. Family drink, non-sponsored Corona.
Looks like I'm not family then.
I mean, in this movie,
Corona, no.
Corona did not decide to show up in this movie. They were like, nah, we'll take a break.
No, they
This
were
movie-
drinking another beer.
Yeah, we're
So-
drinking another beer. We never saw the brand. But in this movie, he's like, nah, this movie's not going to make money. We're not going to show up for this one. Like, oh, big mistake,
It's
buddy.
Dollar Tree
Big,
beer.
big mistake. Didn't show up for this movie, the big one. Like, oh my God. But man, I'm just gonna say it right now because I'm not gonna bring it up in the review. But I was just happy to see that this was filmed in Puerto Rico. You know, where I'm from. It was awesome. It looks beautiful. I was like, this is great. I mean, it was so weird because I remember seeing the behind the scenes stuff, and Justice Lin was like, "Oh, we're so excited to film in Brazil. It's a beautiful country." I'm like, bitch, you film this movie. 95% of the movie was filmed in Puerto Rico. What the hell are you talking about? Like, maybe Brazil was filmed in the beginning, maybe in the aerial shots, and that is about it. And maybe some parts of here and there, but I was like, motherfucker, like Brazil? No. Mention our fucking city, because I remember people were freaking out when people find out this was being filmed there. Vin Diesel was going around like the neighborhoods talking to people in Spanish. People were like, "Yeah, Vin Diesel." Vin Diesel's like, "Hola, what's up, mi gente?" And he was doing his Spanish. He was doing his Spanish. Like, he knows Spanish, but he's not completely there. I was like, okay. Again, where are you from? We do not know. You're still a mystery to us. But I don't know. This shit was awesome. So seeing that shit was great. But I'll drink for that. Salud, familia. Salud.
Make some
Yeah,
water.
Henry's over here like, I'm responsible.
I'm a square.
So what is up, my people? Welcome to another episode of Road to Fast 9 here on the movies. We're talking here at least as of this movie's release, this is the big event of the franchise. This is the Avengers before the Avengers. The Avengers came out a year later. They upped them for 1 year, like, bitch, we are gonna make the big team movie. You guys had nothing. We have all these years of building all these characters. Man, we got them all together in one movie. You guys did shit. So this is the Avengers, man. This is an event. I remember like when this came out, like, this is the movie that made me get into the franchises. I saw here and there. I saw the fourth movie in the theater, but I didn't remember much of it when I saw it. This movie was like, oh, what happened in the fourth movie? I don't remember what's going on. But this is the one that's like, all right, this shit looks awesome. I'm all in for this movie. And I loved it when it came out. I loved it. It was so much fun. I've seen it a couple times here and there for all these since it came out. I used to love this movie. So yeah, this shit was great. And I don't know, did it change? I don't know. I'll say it right when we get to the review, but this was the event. Like, what do you guys remember of Fast 5? Do you guys remember like the fervor for having this movie? Like, people's excitement of what was your experience with this movie, and what were your thoughts in this movie before we jump into this new one or this review, I guess.
I don't think I saw this one until today.
Are you serious?
Because I got confused and I thought this is the movie where they were like, ladies, no, like I can't remember if I actually saw this movie or not. But you know what?
Wow.
I watched it.
Dude, because this was huge in 2011. That was a big movie. Like, big movie the summer. Everybody was so excited for this movie. Like, oh my God, this cast, everybody is back in this movie. Like, people were excited for this shit. So I'm surprised you didn't even see this movie at all. Like, you didn't see it in the theater? Any?
No, the first one I can remember is the sixth one. That's the first one I can remember. Definitely not in the theater for sure.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Well, what about you, Henry? I'm pretty sure you saw this in the theater as well, right?
Yeah, I've seen all of them in the theaters, and I remember seeing this. I was in senior in college, and yeah, this movie was like, we watched this, like, it blew our face off. Like, it was just like, what the, like, this is insane action movie. Like, I remember this was definitely the time where after people watched this movie, they just immediately got in the car and just started speeding home. Like, I'm just gonna drive recklessly on the highway.
I go steal everything.
Yeah, so it was a big thing. Like this movie was very successful, and I remember people talking about it. Like 4 was like, okay, this is the start of something, but 5 was just like, okay, we have something here. Like there's something special here.
Yeah, it's like kind of like you said in the last review. You said like this is kind of almost like a bridge between, kind of like I said as well, like from the first era of this franchise and what's gonna be the future of the series. But oh my god, now this movie's like, all right, this is what the whole franchise is going to be about. If you guys are not in for this, I'm sorry, but this is how the rest of the series is gonna be. So you're either in or you're out. So I remember, like, when I watched this movie, I didn't get the whole impact of like, oh my god, these people are here, because again, I've seen the other movies here and there. Tokyo Drift I never seen at that point, so I didn't get the full like, oh my god, all these characters are here reunited in this movie. Like I didn't get that full feeling. But other than that, just the action and everything, I enjoyed the hell out of that movie when that came out. And everybody in theaters, like everybody was, eating it up. People were like screaming, hollering, laughing. Everybody's just having a great fucking time. Like it's one of the best experiences I had in a theater. I mean, that movie is incredible. Everything from the way, from beginning to end, even the post-credit scene. We'll talk about that. So, man, there's a lot of stuff I just want to cover here. So let's just get to it, people. Again, if you're not seeing the movie, I mean, spoilers, because we're gonna. I mean, we've done this for the whole series, so I'm just sorry. We'll just let you know right now. So we're just gonna get into it, like kind of like how we talked about in the last movie. You know how saying like the ending of the last movie was like, it's not the best ending. We're seeing Vin, we're seeing Dom getting arrested. He's in the prison bus. Yeah, and then he's like, boom, the car zooms in, the camera, and it's over. Like I was like, But this beginning was sort of like a nice little recap to kind of let you know like where we're at and how this is gonna set up the rest of the movie. Because I remember when I saw it the first time, I don't remember much of the Force movie when it came out. So the intro was still a little bit weird for me. I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, why is he in a bus getting into prison? I didn't get it. I was just lost. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But it's not a best recap, but it's like it kind of does set you up why they're on the road and all that stuff. But man, I lost my shit. I started laughing hysterically once Brian slams the bus with a car and the bus rolls over. I was like, I'm in, man. This movie, and then it cuts to like that logo in a big dramatic way, like boom, Fast 5. I mean, do you see like dust coming out? Like, oh shit! Like this movie immediately 2 minutes in, like boom, we're in. And I love how they didn't show Tego and Santos in any of that scene, because like they look very drastically different than how they saw in the last movie. So it's like they didn't show any single scene from them in there. But I was like, fuck it. This is amazing. Like this little car make that giant bus flip over, tumble like 3 times. I loved it. And it's also funny how they had to let you know, they had to let the audience know, like, hey, people miraculously lived in that bus. No one died in that bus crash. So making sure these people are not bad. They only let one guy live and escape, but no one else died. Okay, let's make you all know these people are not bad. Let's see how if that keeps going for the rest of the movie. But I can tell like one shot immediately once we saw Brian and Mia get to Brazil, I can tell this is Puerto Rico, because like you see this backdrop of Rio, but it looks kind of CG. It still looks nice, but I was like, yeah, that's not real. But all right, cool. Doesn't look bad, but all right. I wonder how if people felt the reaction that I guess Justin Lin and Chris Morgan, the writer, respecting Vince's return. Did people give a fuck when they saw him? Were people like, who the hell is that guy? Because I remember when I saw the movie first time, I was like, who is this dude with a beard? Vince? Who's this guy? I don't know who the hell he is. But I don't seeing it now. It was great seeing these movies back to back. It's like, oh shit! Like now I know who Vince is. It's cool. But when it came out, did people care? Like Henry, when we watched this movie, did you care about Vince's return? Were you like, oh shit, it's Vince, he's back? Like what?
I think it was just one of those things like, oh, I remember him, like not like it being this big thing, but I think it was just like a taste of what was to come, where it's just like this was a movie where they literally, if they could bring someone back, they did in some way. Like if you weren't dead, it was like, and you were available, we're gonna find you a way to get in this movie.
Like, I was
Even
surprised
Vince
they brought
Minor,
it back.
like-
I was surprised they brought it back because, like, it makes sense why they're gonna bring Michelle Rodriguez back because she's huge. She was huge around at that time. But I don't know the actor's name, but I mean, no offense, but I don't think he was big at that time. I've only, I don't know, has he done movies or TV? I don't know, but there's only things I ever seen him. So I was surprised they brought it back. Like, oh shit, okay, it's cool because they did it for the connectivity of the story. So I like that sense, you know. So that was cool to see him here for a while. But also, like Andrew, what I mean, did you? I don't know. Did you feel something about his return? Come on, Vince.
Bearded guy. Who is this guy, man? Dude, ever since Vince said the F word in the first movie, I was like, I don't give a shit about you, dude. I don't give a shit about you, man. I'm sorry. I get why they did it. They did it to have like a confrontation with like Paul Walker's character, his girlfriend. Oh, and it's like, oh, I get it. We're supposed to remember that. I'm like, it doesn't do anything for me.
Because I don't know, because when this movie came out, I don't know if people were as consistent with watching these movies. So this is the first movie came out 2001. So 2011, people remember this guy. I don't know. It was a bold choice for sure, but I still liked him, see him in there. And dude, by the way, like the dude has not aged since 2001 because he looked about the same. Like, holy shit, this dude. I mean,
continuity, man.
I mean, he looks a little bit older, but he still looks pretty good. I was like, damn, all right, he looks pretty good. But man, I gotta say, I mean, it was cool seeing Vince back, but I have to say, hashtag justice for Leon. Where's my Leon, dude? Where is he? I mean, are we forgetting Leon, the biggest character in the franchise we just left in the first movie? Come on, man. Hashtag justice for Leon. I wish he'd coming back to the ninth movie. We'll see. He'll be the big baddie.
Too many black people, man. It's just like, nope. We're taking over.
Yeah, no, it's like, all right, well,
status unknown. I love that.
Leon is from a different era. I don't know. He'll be the Thanos of the franchise. He'll be the big one. He's like, oh, bad, you guys left me. Remember me? I'm waiting for that shit to come back. I don't know. Vince, you're back. It's cool to see you. It's also funny how Mia just happens to know Portuguese, by the way. She just knows that. She just speaks Portuguese fluently. Like, how did that come from? Like, we never seen you speak Portuguese before. Well, you just happen to know that. That's all right.
Characters just apparently in this film know things. They're like, I had a past life. Like,
yeah, we'll get.
Okay, that's a cheap way of writing that.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Oh shit, yeah. Oh my god. But what? By the way, is Mia pregnant? Because she's throwing up.
Oh baby.
Oh baby. Oh my god. So that was a big thing.
The way they reveal it, I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah. And by the way, like, dude, because I was thinking, like, all right, so when did this happen? So I guess that night in the kitchen, the last movie, Brian went full cap, like, fuck condoms, bro. We're fucking here. We're going all in. I'm like, did Brian not know what the hell just happened? It's like, that's the only time they had sex, I think. So I don't know. Unless they had sex during,
no baby.
But man, Brian was like, fuck it. We're going all in. So for him to not even know, that's on him, man. That's on you. Because he didn't, come on, man, Brian. Come on. Rookie mistake. What's going on with you? But I like seeing Brian and Mia's relationship, by the way, in the first act, because I don't know, I like seeing their development. I like seeing how they're more closer together. So that was very, very nice. I like seeing that. And boom, we're here. The first heist. Train. Shit looks cool. I like Mia's thing about let's go to Morocco and shit like that. So like that was pretty nice. But I didn't get the card things. Did you guys understand that part? Because you know how Brian he had this little device thing. He scanned his card, and then he told me like, "Oh, you can open the door." Where she had another card, and it worked. I was like, "How did that fuck does that? How's that work?" I didn't get it. I don't know if you guys understood.
Come on, man. The cars are being stolen. Don't care.
I was like, okay,
you're thinking too much.
Yeah, I was like, that's how it worked. I was whatever. But I also love how he cracked open the emergency glass with the keys with his bare hand. No scrapes, no cuts. He's like, boom, bust it open. I'm like, shit, okay, Brian.
They can do it.
I mean, Dom was becoming superhuman. I guess Brian also gained those powers as well because he just opened that shit. Boom.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
The superheroes
But
now.
that shit was cool. But what do you guys think of this whole first heist? Like the big, I mean, it's only like what 10 minutes in and we're already there. Not even 10 minutes in. We're already in this big heist. Like, did you guys like this scene, or would you guys were not disappointed by it? What you guys thought about this big first heist?
I thought it was cool. I mean, yeah, if you think too much, you're gonna be like, why are they doing this? No, it's cool. They're stealing cars, and then for some reason we progress to they drop the car off the bridge, and it's like, whatever. I'm not gonna think about it though. It's fun.
That's true. I mean, that's the only issue I had, really. That's the only thing, like, huh? But the rest of it was like, it's just badass. I loved it. I mean, everything here is filmed spectacularly, choreographed super well. Everything's practical here for the most part. Shit looks amazing compared to the fourth movie because, like, there's some CG in that movie. And here's, like, boom, you can tell they got money in this movie. So everything, even from the truck crash of the truck, almost like Uncharted style, like, this shit is bad fucking ass. I loved it. What do you think of this heist, Henry? Did you love it or did you like it?
It was pretty good. I mean, just like you were saying, it's very practical in terms of you can see it's still like you can see a lot of stunts, especially with the truck bouncing all over the place, the pickup truck they had before they got up alongside the train, and even the jump off the cliff looked pretty real.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Even though this is like death count number 2. Where it's like,
right. Yeah.
That's the second time that Brian should have died this movie. The first time with the bus, because that bus would have crushed him. And then this is the second time him like falling off the cliff. And it's like you would have broke a bone and broke your legs and you'd have died. You would have drowned.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like, wait,
he's invincible.
Yeah, because should they have jumped a little bit later? Because all right, it makes sense that they jumped a little later down the drop, but still, once he saw that shot of them falling, that was really high. So they should have died. Both of them should have died immediately. Like bones break at least. Like, ugh. But they were fine. It's like us with different water. Everything's cool. But speaking of Dom, by the way, I loved his dramatic entrance when they bust open the wall. It's like, I'm Vin Diesel on this movie. I was like, all right, welcome back, Vin Diesel. You're great. So whatever. And I also love how Vince somehow, since the first movie, also stepped up his heist game. Because now he's doing these elaborate heists. I mean, from stealing DVDs to doing this big heist. I don't know how he learned how to do this shit, but he can play ball with the rest of the crew. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. But the only other issue I had is when Dom tells me, like, hey, we're changing this stuff up. Like, just wait for my signal. He doesn't signal anything at all to her. It just immediately knows how to drive away. I'm like, why? He didn't say anything to her. So why did she think of doing? I don't know. I was like, that makes no sense. But okay, let's not think about it.
I drive.
Let's not think about it. There's just driving and having badass shit in me. I mean, they kill the DEA. I'm like, oh fuck, that's crazy. So yeah, everything was awesome. Also, I love how the truck is tumbling and following them behind the cliff. I'm like, that whatever. Shit looks awesome. It's cool. I mean, that shot of them floating in slow motion, like about to jump the car. That's one of the most iconic scenes. Yeah, that's one of the most iconic shots from the franchise. I'm like, that shit looks badass. I really like that. But yeah, I don't know. It should have died in that jump. I mean, come on, get the hell out of here. But I also love how I noticed immediately in this first 15 minutes, like Justin Lin stepped up his action game because, dude, the fights in the train, the choreography in the fight scenes, they're fucking awesome. This other scene where they're captured and they have Dom and Brian escaping, that shit was quick, but it was very well done. I was like, holy shit, the fights here are better than ever. I mean, I've never seen, even in the fourth movie, they had some good fights, but nothing compared to this movie. This shit, Justin Lin, man, stepped up his game. So I really, really like that stuff. What do you guys think of the fight scenes in this movie? You guys think it's like very well done or eh?
Well, it definitely kept my interest more than the fourth movie.
For sure.
And considering I was watching the so-called extended cut with like a couple seconds added in of like blood and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's all well shot, you know.
Oh,
so you know,
yeah,
it's fun and you know, it's well done for sure.
Yeah, like you said, I didn't even know this extended scene or version existed. I was like, what?
I forgot. I was like, oh shit.
Because like you
All
said, it
right,
was like
sure.
you said it was only like 2 hours and what 12 minutes or something, but the cut that
Yeah,
I
I
watched
mean,
was
it's
2 hours
just-
and 10 minutes. So
I think it just
I don't
like
know.
adds in like split seconds of like sound effects, and some aren't even time differences. It's like, they add
Okay.
in necks being cracked and like, CGI blood, and oh, maybe the scenes are like 10 seconds longer or something, something like
Okay.
that. It's still like pretty violent.
Oh yeah, this movie's
Snyder cut.
still very violent. Oh yeah, the Snyder cut, the Lin cut, please. Let's get the Lin cut. Although I think Lin put everything he wanted in this movie. I don't think he left anything out. I think this was just playground. This movie was his entire playground.
Evidently he did. There's an extended cut.
Oh yeah, he was like, well, there's something just like 2 seconds I wanted to put in the action scene I didn't put in there, but other than that, this movie is my vision. But what do you think of the fight scenes in this movie, like, Henry? Do you think it's like very well done, as like I think, or what do you think?
They're all right. I think it's one of those things where you mentioned this fight scenes. I'm like, oh yeah, they did fight in this. I forgot. I care more about the car racing and the car stuff. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, but no, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was definitely like doing his job in terms of like it making this more of an action movie than some of the other movies. Like this is like a more well-rounded action
Yeah,
movie, so.
I don't know, because immediately I just noticed the difference in the action, like the fights. Obviously, the big set piece of the train, like I think is way better than a lot of action set pieces in the franchise so far. But just the fight scenes themselves, like I was like, damn, this is very well done. I really liked it. And also in this scene where Don and Brian are interrogated, it was this we meet the villain named, what's his name? What? What's his name? Reyes. I was like, because I was writing my notes. I'm like, all right, wait, they didn't say his name in this whole introduction scene. Like, you would think they find a way to insert his name somewhere, but dude, they're like, all right, he's just in the scene. They know him for somehow. They don't say his name at all.
What's very interesting is throughout the whole movie, they don't say his name. They just say he. And I'm like, guys, I want to give you points for the villain. He's a little villainous, but what's his fucking name?
That's true. I mean, although they do say it one time, I think it was way later in the movie. I think Dom. Oh no, I think it was Neves, the police. I think she's like, oh yeah, Reyes, whatever. Like, that's his name. All right, that's his name. It was the whole time. It's like they don't say his name at one time. Not even in text. I'm like, what is his name, dude? I don't know his name. But I don't know. Of course, we get that villainous scene where he's like, ha ha, I'm evil, I'm rich. Like, I was just gonna ask this. I'm gonna ask this question right now. Do you guys like Reyes? What do you guys think of the villain of this movie? What do you think, Henry?
I don't feel like Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Henry. Sorry.
They didn't do much with him, but now that you mention it, because you were talking about the Avengers, and it reminded me of a lot of the earlier Marvel movies where they focus so much on the heroes and their characterization that the villain's kind of like an afterthought, where they're just there to be a force of antagonist, be an antagonist, but they're not actually like much of a character. So you can kind of swap them in for some other person and it wouldn't be any different. Mm-hmm. It's not really that personal. It's just evil businessman who owns everything in the city type of thing. Because they focus way more on the team, and he's just a leader of a bunch of evil brown people.
Yeah, that's what I wrote that down. Like, I didn't write the exact like Avengers like metaphor, but I wrote that's like, this is true. Like, this is around the era of the 2010s, early 2010s, where like, it's the heroes. It's the heroes that we care about. Although we have some villains here and there. Loki was the big exception, but there are others just like, they're here. They're driving the story a little bit, but it's the heroes. But because I wrote here that, dude, like again, they don't mention his name. They're like, it's like the movie knows, like, he's not pivotal to this movie. He's just there for something to make the heroes our heroes, like comma, to do something. But other than that, he's not. I don't know. I enjoyed him. I think he was pretty villainous. You know, he has a punchable face, that's for sure. He has a face I want to kick his ass. But I mean, he's just a rich guy. He's just a rich guy who's like part of the system. Like, I'm controlling the whole city, like you said. Like, you know, that's all he is. So, but I didn't hate him. He was all right. He was fine. But I don't know. We'll talk about the villains of the whole franchise later. But I wouldn't. I'll say right now, I won't put him on top position. So, but he was fine. He was fine for what he was. But what do you think of Reyes, Andrew? What do you think?
I mean, okay, I'll start off a little positive. I mean, when he's on the screen, yeah, he's doing things that are villainous, sure. I give him that, but you know, I'm like, dude, he's not really given much to do though. Like, you know, this is one of those movies where like we get mostly the protagonist in the film, and like I clocked it every time. It was like we barely got any time with this guy every single time, and we barely got his name. And I'm like, wait, who is really the villain? I guess we're supposed to assume the guy in the suit, but like the movie keeps focusing on other actors, so I'm like, who really is the villain? I'm not sure.
Because sometimes it's like he shows up in one scene after 20 minutes of film. Like, oh yeah, this dude's here. That's right. It's Reyes. Well, although I was thinking about that.
Oh, we got a villain.
That feeling that I had, like, oh yeah, he's in the movie, was with another character, but I'll mention him in a little bit. But yeah, Reyes, he was fine. He was cool. he was all right, but I didn't hate him. But yeah, he's not the best villain yet, but he was cool. But all right, this is where we meet the character of the movie, fucking lubed motherfucking hot, ladies and gentlemen. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is in this movie, ladies and gentlemen, and his entrance is.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Hell yeah, man! His entrance is cinema, is cinema art. I mean, from the moment we see him, just seeing that gate open from the fucking planes, like hell yeah, man! It's the Rock. Who do you call to get these people riled up? It's fucking Rock. Don't get anyone else. It's the motherfucking Dwayne Johnson, man. I mean, finally, this is his prime. He cut that haircut that he had for 2005. He cut that shit. He gained some muscles. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. He's awesome. From like, I love his lines are pretty fucking corny. I'll say that right now. Some of his lines are really, like, oh my god. Sometimes he.
But it's the Rock, man.
I still loved it. Oh, I agree, but I loved it.
Sometimes he almost
has a nice smile.
He was like, what's his line that he said? Like, oh, at the end, like, above all else, don't let it get in the cars. I'm like, all right, it's all right,
like, okay,
okay, but it's like, all right, that's cool. And oh my god, but I got goosebumps when he said to that cop, like, also, stay the fuck out of my way. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Like, dude, I was like, shivering down my spine.
They used the right word.
I was like, stay the fuck out of my way. I'm like, oh shit, dude. I just love
fuck out of my way,
dude. I love how he was already in the game. I was like, dude, I'm here to. I mean, business. I want these people get captured, arrested. I'm through with these people. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I don't know. I want to ask you guys. Like, I don't know. I thought Dwayne Johnson in this movie. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, or however you want to say it, The Rock, whatever. I think in this movie, he is incredible. I don't know. He has the charisma. He's like, I like his character. He's like, he was driven to get these people. He's just, above all else, he wants these people done. Like, I want to get all these people. So I love that shit. Although there was like one scene, like sometimes his acting slips here and there. I'm like, not that good. But most of the rest of the movie, for the majority of it, he's fantastic. I loved him in the movie. What do you guys think of Hobbs and Dwayne Johnson in this movie? What do you guys think?
I mean, you know, people give The Rock a hard time. I think here, he for sure, he gave it his 100% here for sure. You know, obviously it's silly, it's corny, as you said, you know, all that good stuff. I'll tell you what, I loved him in this movie because I'm like, you know what? He's sending it all the way. He knows what he's getting into. He's like, I'm going to do it. I absolutely love that part where he's like, well, she has a nice smile. And I'm like, only you can do that corny ass line.
Dude, the corniest line he said in the movie was like when that other guy was like, "Hey, I got some information on this investigation." He's like, "Oh, he's like, you want the good news or the bad?" And he's like, "You know, like what to serve first." I'm like, okay. And then when he said the first part of the news, he's like, "All right, now give me the veggies." I'm like, "Oh god, come on, Hobbs." Jesus Christ. Only he could almost sell that shit. But I was still like, nah, man. No. That was some cheesy shit. That was, cringy shit. But hey, it was fun. That's his character. His character's like over the top shit. It's not the last time he said some over the top shit. We'll get to that in the first later movies. But yeah, I was like,
the last.
damn. But what do you think of Hobbs and Dwayne Johnson's movie, Henry? What do you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of his lines were silly, but he really did commit, and I loved every bit of it. Like when he came in, he was just fast talking and spitting corny lines, and they were just flying out. It was like I was eating that shit up, and I think that I don't know if they wrote it that way or if they like did some ad-libbing when they were filming, but I think it's one of those things where the lines worked because it was coming from him. But people knowing he's like a wrestler, like a pro wrestler, and like him like use the same lines like that. So he's like so used to delivering stuff, those type of lines that it just worked. It just I don't know, it was like charisma, his charisma, and just like it just I don't know how to like describe it, but it was one of those things where he really committed to it.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what made this movie special, is that a lot of people committed to their character role and it kind of all worked together.
Hell yeah, man. I remember when they announced like, oh, The Rock's gonna be in this movie. Like, oh, what?
Ooh.
Like, oh shit. I was like, I wasn't into WWE at all. I've seen it when I was younger and I was a kid, but still, like The Rock, people knew who The Rock was. So to see like, oh shit, like this is still not. I mean, The Rock now he's in another stratosphere, but this is like the beginning of his new renaissance. Like this is like the beginning of his renaissance. So, but still, I was interested in seeing like, oh shit, The Rock's gonna be in this movie. All right, this is interesting. Like, and I think he's a great antagonist. Like for the more so the movies, like he's a great force of nature to do not fuck with Hobbs, man. I'm like, damn, like, dude. I mean, when Hobbs gets mad, shit, I want to be in the end of the fucking barrel. Like,
I can break windows.
Oh shit, he does some things in this movie. God damn, but I thought, yeah, he was great. I think in the later movies he gets a little better. I think 6 is like maybe his best one. I don't know. I don't remember much of a 6 movie, but here for his his intro to his universe, he was great. So I really liked him. But I also love how these men are filled with testosterone because like Brian getting mad at Vince like, whoa, what's doing it with Mia? And then Don's like, if he said he didn't do it, he didn't do it. And I was like, damn. Mia's like, man, these fucking dudes just fuck each other already. What the hell, man? You're heated up and shit. What's wrong with you? But I thought that was fucking crazy. But also, by the way, I forgot to say the last point. Like, dude, what's great about The Rock is they can sell those lines, but imagine Vin Diesel saying, like, no, give me the veggies. I don't think he can sell that shit. I don't think.
There's no way.
No, give me the veggies.
No.
Give me the veggies.
Please. Give me the family vegetables.
Give me the
smile. Give me beer.
I like my Corona first.
We pray to the beer.
I like my Corona first. Give him the bucket. Give him the bucket. He can't sell his lines, man. It's The Rock. It's The Rock. He sold that shit. I just forgot to say that stuff. But I also love how Reyes, dude. He's this Brazilian guy who just loves colonialism. He does this metaphor like, oh, the Portuguese did it better. They conquered people because they give them gifts. I'm like, you really like that shit? Like, what? All right, I get you're powerful, but man, this got fucked up. But okay. Also, I love how the Portuguese, the henchman, I didn't even know the henchman's name. I don't know what's his name. They didn't even say his name at all in the whole movie. But sometimes when that guy speaks Portuguese, dude, the dubbing in him is terrible. I'm like, oh my god, like that.
Yeah, I noticed that a couple times too. I was like, ooh.
I was like, ooh, that does not look authentic at all. But okay, that's all right. It's what it is. But yeah, oof. But later on, I also thought the confrontation between Dom and Vince was actually very good. Like, I thought it was some great acting in this scene. Like Vin Diesel getting actually mad, Vince getting like upset and shit. I'm like, okay, you guys selling me in this. I really like that stuff. Like, is he a double crosser? Who knows? The movie doesn't touch that shit because nobody cares. I mean, they try to have a plot with him, but the movie's like, we don't really care. I mean, once we get with the crew, you guys don't really care about Vince, do you?
DVDs.
It's like, yeah, we're getting Tyrese Gibson in this movie, and the rest of this crew. Do we really care about this Vince guy? Let's forget about him. The movie forgets about him. So it's like, oh my god, I feel bad for Vince.
Nah, we gotta look this back.
Because man, I was gonna say right now, Vince, he disappears for the whole movie, and at one point it's like, oh yeah, Vince is in this movie. What? I forgot about this fucker. He's in this movie. I forgot. All right, he's here. That's right. Man, I'm sorry, but I felt Vince was unnecessary in this movie. I mean, it's cool to see him back. He didn't really need to be here. I'm sorry. He was cool. He was fine. I really liked him, but he just didn't need to be here. Sometimes he added just unnecessary drama that we didn't need in this movie. Like, everybody's fine. This motherfucker comes up with his shit. I'm like, I don't need to see that. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just another person to like put in there so they can die, and we can be like, oh my god,
oh no,
someone we cared about died. Oh my god, no.
The movie really wants you to feel that. And I'm just like,
no,
okay, all right, sure.
I mean, I'm poor guy. I'll get. I'll talk about it when we get there. But I was like, man, the movie doesn't even care about you, Vince. I'm sorry. It's like we have this huge cast, and having him feels too much already. I'm like, I don't. He just do this movie.
Yeah, this movie's it's already stuffed enough, and it's one of those things where watching it yesterday. Well, when I watched it, the movie kind of stumbles a little bit in terms of I mean, I know where we're supposed to be going. Like, can we get to the team? Because it kind of takes a while for that to happen until we start assembling the people. It's like almost like 50 minutes into the movie. It's like 45 minutes into the movie until we actually get the crew. Because I guess you're about to get to it. It was a part in the movie. I'm like, we probably could have took this out.
Yeah.
Okay. The racing.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, I feel the same way. But it's just, I mean, I like the scene that Vince and Dom had was cool because they had some good callbacks for the first movie. I was like, oh shit! Like, I mean, that's the cool thing about watching these movies back to back. It's like, now I know these references and lines of dialogue. I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome. But yeah, I don't really need Vince in this movie. I mean, he's fine. I mean, he was part of the movie in the beginning. Because, like, did you guys feel like once we get the crew, it feels like a different movie? Because before the crew gets in the movie, it feels like it's Fast 4 again. And then when the crew is here, it's Fast 5. It's a whole different movie. It's just like, Vince was cool for the first part. But once we get the crew, Vince, I'm sorry, get the hell out of here. What do you say, Andy?
So for sure, when I was watching the movie, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then once they get the crew, I'm like, "What? Are we watching the same movie?" Okay, I guess I'm vibing with this. I don't know what's going on, but what I love about that scene is I'm like, "Wait, where are we in the timeline? Because why is Han here? Like, we saw him die in 3. Where are we? Where are we in the timeline?"
That's true. I mean, yeah, this movie. I mean, again, 4, they kind of told you where we are, but it's like, I guess it makes sense. It still makes sense because, like, the movie starts immediately after the 4th movie, so we're still fresh on the same timeline with the 4th movie, so it makes sense to me. But I mean, yeah, when I first saw this movie, I didn't know about the Han stuff. I'm like, oh, Han's in this movie, all right. But
he's just sitting there like.
But I get what you mean because tone-wise, it does feel like a different movie because it feels like a heist comedy flick, action buddy cop shit. I'm like, okay, like the first act with Vince on that stuff felt like a different movie drama wise. I'm like, okay, but I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying it felt like a completely different movie. But I don't know. I guess stuff in the first act, it's good. I do like it, but it takes. I think I'm getting with you, Henry. Like, it does take a while to get with the crew, but still, I didn't mind it. I wasn't like, oh, this movie's a slog. I'm just like, yeah, I know it takes a little bit of a while, but it's not too long for me. So I still enjoyed it. But by the way, that's chase sequence with like in the favelas, beautiful. Love that shit. Cool. Everything in there, incredible, man. Like everything. I mean, Dom breaks a concrete window, dude. He's like, boom, bust on. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I know Dom is super strong, but come on, man. He's breaking a concrete window. It's not glass window. It's like cement in that shit, like bricks. I'm like, whatever. That's how he did that shit. He broke that, but I love seeing like Brian and Mia running for like the rooftops and Dom and like chasing the Hobbs chasing Dom. Because again, Hobbs feels like a force of nature, man. When he busts open that window, I was like, oh shit, Dom, get the hell out of there, man. He's gonna get you.
Yeah,
I was like,
you were fucked, sir.
oh shit, like, oh crap. But everything again, like the action sequence in here is incredible because we see a lot of like tight alleyways and we got some cool fights in there, some cool shootouts in there from like the rooftop, from the floor, the street. I was like, man, this shit is awesome. It made me want to go back and play Max Payne 3.
That was me.
I was like,
not me.
Oh no, we lost him.
Oh shit, I
there
froze.
We go, you're back.
I froze. Oh,
yeah, you did. I was like,
oh shit,
like,
okay.
Where'd you go?
All right, so what's the last thing I said? What was the last thing I said that you guys?
You were like, run, Dom, like Haas, what the fuck you want?
Well, yeah, like dude, when like Haas is chasing Dom around, like running and shit, like the action here is super awesome because we get these like tight alleyways and we see like these cool fights in these tight corners, cool shootouts from like the rooftops from the street. Everything was like, oh my god, this is awesome, man. Dude, I don't know if you guys play Max Payne 3, but I want to play that game again. Like Max Payne 3 is awesome. So I want to play those parts in Brazil and Rio again. But man, everything here, incredible. What do you guys think of this chase sequence? What do you guys think about it?
That was pretty dope. It was really cool. It was just like them running through the rooftops and then it was like Mia and Paul Walker. He was just like running along the streets. And then I like when they have action scenes when it's not just two different parties, chasing each other. It's like three, because you have Dom and his crew, then you have Reyes and his, and then you have what's the Rock's character? Hobb and his crew. So they're like all these people are like all these three like sides are like chasing each other, and it makes it even more exciting because it's like you don't want anyone to like cross because some shit's gonna go down. And,
oh hell no!
I also forget how like murderous Hobbs and his team are. Like, they're just mowing down people.
Dude, like, oh my god! They
snapping necks and shit. I was like, God.
Dude, what's the crew like? Right at the end, just shooting those people like, brr, 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 and they stay in those people for like a minute, like, brr, brr, brr. I'm like, god damn! But I still incredible. Like, dude, the one person I was afraid of in this whole sequence was fucking Hobbs, because Hobbs mean business in here, dude. Like that scene, like these people were about to kill Brian and Mia. Once Hobbs comes out, like, brr, 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 starts shooting, like, god damn! All right, shit, like run, people, because this motherfucker, he's about to kill you. I love that scene. What do you think of the chase sequence? Did you like it?
No, I liked it. It was pretty good. I mean, God, it was incredibly violent, especially in the version that I watched. Like, they extend the cracking neck scene, so it's like, ooh,
yeah,
what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, oh my god, there's like so much going on. My brain's going crazy. Holy shit!
And that's scene,
what the fuck?
In that scene, I didn't see blood, but they showed like the bodies, and you see like the almost like blood shots in the show. I'm like, oh crap! All right, that's cool. It's PG-13, but I guess we're seeing actual impacts. But
they had like a little bit of blood, like just a little bit,
yeah,
like a splurt of it in my.
Just a little bit of it, but man, that fuck. I mean, this movie picked up. It's really fast paced. I really like this movie. It's like we're not wasting our time. We're getting through action. If you want action, we get it. We got it for you. And action is really well done. I love that shit. And everything here. Oh, by the way, I know Henry, you said like The Rock kills this movie. I forgot in the trace sequence, like, dude, Brian and Dom, they don't give a fuck anymore. They're killing people very, very violently. I mean, when Dom threw a guy off the train and hit the side of the bridge, I'm like, damn, oh fuck, okay. And then Brian, I think that truck driver, did he snap his neck or something? I think he snapped his neck or something, or he shot him or something. But he killed that guy. I was like, it's not cold blooded, but still, I was like, damn, like these people. I mean, I know they killed people before, but hey, this is what we're killing now, people. Like, fuck that shit, we're killing people. So like, all right, I'm all in. That's cool. But also, this is the movie where they finally mention the word family.
Family.
Man, because I was disappointed from these movies. I'm like, man, they're not saying family yet. It's here and there, but it's not there. But now, in these what was it 40 minutes? They said the word twice. Vince said it once. I think Dom said it. Oh yeah, Dom said another was like the family's growing up. Although the family's getting bigger. I'm like, shit, here we go. Dom's getting family. John's getting the family bug. Because Brian finds out that Brian finds out he's getting a baby, and I'm surprised. I'm like, oh shit, Brian took it well. Brian's like, what the fuck? Brian was like, yeah, I'm having a baby. Yes, fuck yeah, man. I was like, oh, that's sweet. I don't know. I like that scene. I thought that sweet. I mean, that scene was actually very sweet.
Now, you're talking about the scene where like they're talking about the dad, right? Because
later, but that's when they're in the river where like they're hugging each other and like, oh my god, we're having and Donald's like, I'm gonna be an uncle. Myself what? Yeah, I was like, I thought that scene was actually very, very nice. I saw like genuine reaction.
Oh, maturity.
Yeah, man, it's like the family's there. The family's there. I mean, Uncle Dom was gonna kill his dad at one point a couple of movies ago, but hey, now we're family. Now we're family. So
speaking of Uncle Dom, it's interesting to me that Vince would have a baby that dark skin. I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa.
I'm like,
you think that this baby's darker than him and the mother? And I'm like,
dude, Vince is a kind of a shitty dad. Because like, I love that scene. I forgot to mention that. I think it was later on, but like Vince tells his very simple backstory. What happens after the first movie? It was very simple. There's nothing complicated about what happened to him. But he said like, oh yeah, I was hitting these things like left and right. I was in a bad rut. But once I met my wife, now we're good. But now let's do a heist immediately. Like what? I thought we were done with this criminal underworld stuff, but now you're going back to doing a heist. And I think you're also like the kingpin of the favelas because everybody's like defending you. Because once Brian and Mia got there, they're like about to kill them, and they was like, no wait, I know these people. So I'm like, yo, Vince, like. What's going on? Did we find out what happened with like how's he doing this shit? No, because Vince, nobody cares about Vince this movie. But Vince has some power apparently. Does he? Did we just touch on it? So who cares? Vince again. Who cares about Vince? But
Vince?
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
I know I'm roasting him hard.
Also, man, I love how Hobbs is a very demanding boss. He's an asshole. That scene where he's like, all right, we took apart this, like we took this car apart, take every piece, we're gonna investigate. All right, I want you guys to put it all together again. Like, oh fuck, dude, like, damn. Because like I like the dude is like, all right, it's gonna take a while, Hobbs. But it's like, I don't give a fuck. Better get to it. And I was like, damn, like, dude, this guy is very, very hard ass, in my opinion. He's a little too much for me sometimes. I'm like, damn, I get you're very, very dedicated to your job, but this is a little too much. Like asking him to put all the car together like that. I'm like, kind of an asshole. But I don't know. That shit was just pretty funny. But I also talking about the scene we're talking about, Andy, about the dad stuff, talking about my dad and stuff like that. I guess now I know where Dom takes his very forcing, inflicting nature of religious views. Because once he talked about his backstory, like, oh yeah, my dad, he will not give you a barbecue unless you went to church. I was like, damn, that's kind of all right. That's all right. That's again forcing people to becoming Christian, I guess. Like if you're not going to church, you're not getting my free barbecue for the whole neighborhood. I was like, that's fucked up. so like I know why Dom in the first movie was like, hey, you better pray. You better pray. He was for the rest of the friends, he was like, you better pray. You better pray. So now I know where he got that from. But yeah, I know if you felt the same thing, Andy. But yeah, this whole scene for me was pretty sweet. It's pretty nice.
I didn't think too much about that part because I was like, I feel like there's supposed to be a positivity in that, but I guess that's a way of looking at it too. I'd never thought of it that way. But like when I'm like watching them back going forth, like talk about it, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, this is too deep for this series. What the fuck? Like, oh, I never remembered my dad. And I'm like, Jesus, man, what the fuck?
Right? I don't know about that.
I'm getting goosebumps over here, and I'm like, whoa, fast, calm down here.
It's like it. I don't know. It's like a scene that they kind of want to tell you, like, oh, is Brian Brian's insecure about him being a father, but it was only in that one scene. They never touched on that again. It's like, all right, Brian, because once Dom tells you, like, no, you're not going to be like your dad. Brian's sure about that. All right, if Dom says it means I won't be a deadbeat dad. I'll be fine. But I don't know. I thought this scene was very nice. I thought it was very sweet.
It caught me off guard a lot.
Yeah, it caught me off guard too. Like, oh shit, I remember like they had a heart-to-heart scene, but I don't remember the whole, the details about it. So it was nice. What do you think about this very heartfelt scene?
I'm like, oh, you frozen too? They're like, nope, not.
Like I just started slowly moving.
Shit, what's going on the internet today? God damn it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. You're
Sorry.
back.
So Henry, what do you think of this scene, this heartfelt, very out of nowhere heartfelt scene?
I totally forgot about that scene, and it was actually a big subversion because usually the trope is like the more ethnic person, their father isn't around, and white guy, like his father's around, but it was like different where it was like, Dom's like, no, my father was around, and Brian's like, yeah, my father was around. I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
like.
Because
I totally forgot about that scene because I thought that Dom's father wasn't around. So when he just mentioned it, and he just started talking about all these memories. I'm like,
yeah, dude,
that was surprising.
Crazy.
That was surprising, and then Brian's mad, like, man.
Yeah, Brian's
around, and he's like, and just like you said, like he feels insecure, like about being a father. So I mean, it was one of those things for us. Like it was all right scene, and it wasn't too long. So
oh yeah, quick and out. We're there, we're out. We're setting up what's gonna happen in the next scene, what we're gonna do. So it was a very meaningful scene. I really liked it. It was very nice. It's like, did it need to be there? I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I appreciated that scene being there. It kind of fleshed those characters a little bit more. So I really like that. I would have loved, now thinking about it, I would have loved if Kurt Russell was Brian's dad. That would have been cool. They didn't do that. But all right, well, I guess we missed opportunity right there, people. Because his dad, he was working the whole time because he's a big secret agent. But no, the movie didn't do that. But that's 2 movies later. But
that's for Fast 7.
That's for Fast 7. But anyway, dude, I love this whole setup scene of the whole getting the team together. Loved it. I thought it was great. Seeing where everybody's at. Where's Tej doing? What is Han doing? Like what? Why are we getting each individual? It makes sense why they're getting each of these people. I thought it was really, really well done. Also, I forgot in the last scene. I forgot how I found it funny how Dom says like, "I don't know everything about my father." The way he said "father" was kind of funny. I was just my father. I was like, all right, Dom, just fresh out a little bit. My father. That was just funny. But anyway, I don't know. I love seeing the crew getting together. I don't know. It was cool. I love, like, apparently Tej was always good at controlling the circuits. When?
Apparently.
Apparently. I mean, I know he's sort of tech knowledgeable in the second movie because, he's a promoter, but.
Well, no, now they go, I used to have a past life. That's how they wrap it up real quick. They're like, I had a past life before you guys.
Yeah,
like,
that shit was bullshit. But I love seeing everybody back. I mean, dude, all right. The moment we see Tej and Roman meeting up, it's funny. Admittedly, it's very funny because they're roasting each other. I thought was pretty hilarious. But that shit where Tej immediately just starts, getting hard on Roman kind of came out of nowhere for me, because in the second movie we didn't have this interaction, this chemistry. I mean, this interaction of kind of roasting each other. We never saw it in the second movie. We only saw maybe one slight instance where they're kind of bickering against each other, but the rest of the movie we didn't have this dynamic with each other. So when they were like, "Oh, this got the script of the bottom of the barrel to get you, Roman," I'm like, "Where the hell does this come from, dude? Like, you guys already started like hitting each other. Like, what is going on? This is not." It kind of came out of nowhere for me. This is not how it was in the second movie, but still, I love the dynamic. They don't. It's like they like each other, but they don't want to admit it. They always hate each other. I thought it was a cool
biggest
dynamic.
Romance of the movie.
Yeah, the biggest romance. Like, what do you guys think of this dynamic between Tej and Roman? I thought it was nice. It was cool.
It's okay.
I like this little relationship.
I happen to like it only because I don't know if they intentionally did this, but it's very cultural, where I don't know, playing the dozens, like just cracking on each other is like a very culturally Black thing. And a lot of my friends do that. We do that where we just say something where it's just like, look at this bum right here. And like we love each other. It's just like we do that. So it felt very real to me because I've seen relationships like that where like we will like go bat to bat for each other in terms of like, you know, I will protect my brother, but I'm also going to roast him too and talk about his shoes and talk about, you know, how he's a bum. So I liked it. I think it gets better in the later movies, but I think they were trying to figure it out in terms of like the character dynamics. I mean, since there's so many characters that they kind of have to like pair or like, you know, characters off to kind of play off each other because you can't have like, you know, you can't have everyone in the scene together like all the time. So I feel like they had to group people together like what's his name? Han and Gal Gadot's character.
Giselle.
Giselle.
Yeah,
You mean Wonder Woman, right?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
That's true. I mean, Gal Gadot, not good waters right now. But yeah, I know. I like the whole chemistry between Attention Roman. That was cool. I mean, it just came out of nowhere for me because I'm like, we didn't see this in the previous movie, but maybe they have all these years where they've been friends, so it can maybe make sense. But I don't know. I thought chemistry was really good. It's funny. The whole thing was funny, but man, Roman immediately being a super misogynistic piece of shit when he sees Giselle, he's like, "Hey, those legs are doing business, they're open," or something like that. I was like, "God damn, fuck you, Roman!" Like, he's a woman. He immediately just says like the horriblest shit you can say to a woman. I'm like, God damn.
And she pulls
dude.
a gun out on him respectably. She's like, no, stop, back up.
That's true. Her response was very cool. I like that shit. But Roman, God damn, he's super
that comes
horny.
out of nowhere too.
Dude, came out of nowhere. He's super horny. Because later on, another scene, like in later, but he says something horny again. I'm like, bro, dude, get your dick in your pants, man. Like, God damn, that shit was terrible. But I was like, all right, this is Roman's character now. This is who he is. He was not like this in the second movie. This is not who he is now.
7. Woo.
Oh my God. This is who Roman is now. So whoever he was in the second movie, I mean, he's still the same character in a way in this movie, but man, at least for the first minutes that he's been in this movie, he is like completely horny as fuck, being rude and misogynistic piece of shit. Like, God damn. But I like seeing Tego and Santos are back. They cracked me up. I thought, I don't know. So this is where it was a weird cut of the movie because I know in the original, when I saw in the theaters, you know how they have these subtitles that come in like fast in, they're fast out, these subtitles. But when I was watching this cut like early, I didn't see any subtitles coming up. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's no subtitles in anywhere. I mean, it's not like I need any subtitles for them, but for the Brazilian people when they're talking, I'm like, where's the subtitles, man? I mean, I sort of got around what they were saying because it's sort of close to Spanish, but sometimes I'm like, dude, where's the subtitles? Like, did you guys say, I don't know, was my cut weird or did you guys have subtitles?
Mine had subtitles, but for some reason, like occasionally they would like be over here and then go over there, but it was the same thing, which was weird. Yeah, so I had to keep pausing the movie every time because I'm like, what are they saying? I noticed every time they would swear though, because I was like, oh shit, they just said a bad word.
Yeah, they curse with that.
They would not put that on the subtitles at all. They were like, no, we're not gonna put that on there.
There's a scene later on. I'll talk about them later on, but yeah, the subtitles I remember because I didn't see in this cut, but yeah, I remember when the subtitles come on, they were kind of weird placed. It was like, yeah, here, and then boom, and then boom, and then like boom, and then they're swirling, doing some iMovie shit. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this? Like these fucking texts going on. It's weird, but I don't know. The subtitles are interesting, but yeah, every time anytime they would say something, I think the subtitles are not as close as to what they're actually saying, so I found it pretty funny. So I was like, all right, this is what they're meant to be saying, but they're not saying that shit at all. But that was pretty funny. But I don't know. I love when they kind of they came out of the scene, they met each other. I love the whole meeting together. You know, Han shows up. I love when they're all just talking to each other, roasting each other up. That's just funny. I like when Roman meets Dom for the first time, which is like, oh yeah, it's the first time we meet each other. And I love Roman's face expression. He just doesn't like Dom immediately. Because I was like, all right, maybe I'm looking way too much into it, but I thought it was more because I remember the second movie, maybe like Roman just doesn't like Dom because he blames Dom for what happened to Brian. He's like, this motherfucker. He hurt my bro. He hurt my bro. Now he was in Miami because of you, because he helped you, man. So I don't like you. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Did they touch on that later? No, because they're cool. After that scene, they're friends. They're fine. They like each other. So I was like, all right, they had something there they could have worked with, but they didn't do it. So I'm like, all right. But again, would I want to see Roman being bitching around the whole time to Dom? No, because that would have been really annoying. Because he bitches around sometimes in the movie. Not to the extremes in the later future movies, but in this movie, sometimes he just whines already. I'm like, oh my god. So, do I want to see Roman getting mad at Dom for the whole movie? No, that would have been very annoying. Because I don't know. What do you guys think of Roman? Because I like Roman in this movie. Sometimes he was a little bit too much. Sometimes he could have been a little bit too much. But I found him fine. He was cool. I enjoyed him for the most part. What do you guys think of Roman, Tyrese Gibson?
Mixed. I think he committed mostly. He said some things that I'm like, oh, well, I don't think you shouldn't say that. I don't know why you just said that out loud, but okay. Especially the Gal Gadot part. I was like, where the fuck is this coming from?
Even second movie,
why
dude.
did you say that?
Even the second movie, man. Like again, the Cuban stuff. I'm like, God damn, Roman.
Oh yeah,
Jesus
that was
Christ.
like
He's racist.
At least
he's sexist. He's a piece of shit. Roman's an asshole.
And I'm like, oh my god. I mean, he's not terrible. He's not like bad or anything. I mean, I'll take him over Ja Rule any day. So
Come on, Ja Rule.
I'm just gonna keep remembering it. Something. Gotta keep bringing it up.
Ja Rule's on the ground, just like, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. But yeah, Roman. Oh yeah, sometimes he says something like, oh, good. What do you think of Roman? Because I remember you saying the second movie, Henry. You're not a big fan of Roman in these future movies. Like, do you still feel the same? Has anything changed?
I mean, this one, he's not as bad. I think in the later movies, they kind of really double down on his character, like really make him very whiny, where he's always complaining, and they're always like playing practical jokes on him. He starts to become the butt of a lot of jokes in later movies. But I think in this movie, I kind of like him because they picked the right person to pair him with in terms of Ludacris, because he's like the opposite, where he's like more of the chill, like straight man, was like, all right, I can keep him in check. Like if like Ludacris was and Roman were both the same type of character, if they're both was just like firing jokes and just like, it would be too much. Mm-hmm. So I think they did a good contrast with those two. And this was like before they really made his character kind of annoying and whiny. Yeah, because he's worried. Like I think later when Dom's like, we have this job, and he's like, oh, this sounds personal. I don't want to do your personal shit. Of course it's like, yeah, I don't want to do no criminal shit for no personal shit. And then he says, oh yeah, it's like $100 million. And he was like, whoa. Yeah. You didn't say that. You didn't start with that. You should have started with that.
Yeah, there's some generally good stuff.
So he was, I think this one and maybe the sixth one is where he's like a peak of his character before they really, I think, failed him in terms of writing. In terms of like his lines, and also just like situations they put him in, just like making him like the like kind of bitch character.
Yeah, because like some reactions that you have are very genuine. Like when we see they have to infiltrate a police headquarters, I get his reaction. I really get that.
He's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, hell no. And I also do get the part like what you said where he's like, oh, this is personal. I'm not doing this personal. If it's a personal heist, I'm not. So I love this reaction. It was like, oh, it's $1 million. Like, oh shit. Okay, 100 million. I'm in. So that was funny. But Roman, sometimes again, he's like, wow, you're the very degrading piece of shit. Like, what the hell? But sometimes in this movie, he's funny. He's pretty likable here and there. But I do love seeing the team together, man. It's just everything with a team together really works for me. I love their chemistry. I love when they interact with different people. I love seeing them together. Everything it really works for me. And obviously, seeing these movies back to back, all these couple of weeks, it really worked better now for me because I'm like, okay, cool. Seeing these people in different movies, You know, so now getting all together, it really, really worked for me. I like seeing the whole crew. Do you guys like seeing the crew together? Did you guys think it was too big for you for your liking, or what do you guys think of the crew, the whole group?
Loved it. Loved
Cool,
it.
cool.
I love like heist ensemble films and stories, and I think try to not to beat this dead horse, but talking about the whole Avengers and Marvel thing, how a lot of these characters were all introduced in previous movies. So when you brought them in, you didn't have to do a lot of heavy lifting. It was just like, well, we have all these people together, and you kind of know how they are character wise for most part. So we're just gonna roll with it. And it was like, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the Rick and Morty? Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, right. Because even
that's what it was like. It was
because even watch this movie, if you don't know anything about these characters, they still made it work in a way. Because I remember again when I saw this movie, I don't know most of these characters. I didn't know Giselle. I was like, who are these people? It still really worked. I was really connected with these people, so they made a good job of making me feel and care about these characters, this crew, this dynamic. Like, what do you feel about the crew, Andy? You like the crew? Is it too much?
Oh no, absolutely not, dude. I just love how they're like, oh, I got this person for that. I got this person for that. All right, we got that. Yeah, the way they like bring them all together, I'm like, all right, you got me.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's corny, it's stupid, but I love it.
I love it. I love Brian's reaction when Dom's like, all right, I need someone who can like he's a chameleon. Oh no, or who can talk and whatever. It's like Brian's like, I know the guy, man. I know the guy. It's like, oh, that's cool. Don doesn't know the guy, but Brian does. And it's like that's cool. All these connections are. I really like that stuff. So the crew stuff, beautiful. I love it. It's a cool. This almost barely kind of felt like Ocean's 11. Like George Clooney, Ocean's 11 to me. It felt like I felt a lot of that sometimes.
That's fair.
It's like it felt really cool. So I really like that stuff. But later on, we also I love how Hobbs' men they pulled the car back together and they couldn't find the small screen there. They were like, "Oh, we couldn't find anything, boss." I'm like, I had to take Hobbs to just open the door. And he's like, "What is this little screen right in the fucking driver's seat?" I'm like, "Bro, you couldn't find that shit. You guys literally built the car together. You couldn't find that part? Okay, that's whatever." But oh my god, dude, Roman's line when they're like they see the police headquarters when he says like Mission Impossible, this is much of a freaking insanity. I was like, that shit is bad. I was like, Mission freaking insanity. I was like, whatever. That was a zinger, man. It was funny. Top notch comedy. Terrible. But I also love how the tech that they use to register people's faces, identify. What the hell, dude? Like, it's a blurred image. They're wearing masks. And just by seeing their eyes, they're like, "Oh, that's Dominic Toretto." Like, what?
That's not how that works in real life.
That's not how it works. I was like, it's like, "Oh, that's Dominic Toretto." What? All right, it's like, all right.
Actually, knowing facial recognition, like having some knowledge about it, it's not that reliable as you think it is. Like,
no. I love that cliche. That movie cliche is like, where Hobbs like 8 hands. I'm like, oh my god, I love that shit.
I just start thinking of Super Troopers where it's like enhance, and I'm like, dude, this is so stupid. No way, that's not how that works.
It's so dumb. I was like, whatever. It's what it is. But I love that scene where Roman infiltrates the police headquarters and he's dressed like Brian O'Connor. But although it was funny,
so it's Caucasian.
This is Caucasian. That shit was funny. I really laughed, but he should have been arrested on the spot. I was like, wait a minute, it says Caucasian. So like, you're not Brian O'Connor. Get in here. But no, they just keep on going. It went a little bit longer for my taste. But I don't know. I love how it's funny. I love Roman's response. I'm like, it's just a tan, man. It's just a tan. I was like, that's funny. Nah, all right. Well done.
First of all, I love how that woman was like nodding at first, like she sort of understood him, and then she was like, "Nah, I'm out of here."
Yeah, I like that.
I don't.
Because he's like, I'll flirt with her. I'll do my flirting skills. I'll do good. And she's like, nope. And once the dude comes up, he's like, fuck. How can I do this? I can't do that.
You got muscles, man.
He was still
cool.
That
was cool. That was very well done. It's like, well, cool. And also, kind of what you mentioned earlier, Andy, Tedge's evolution as a super tech guy where the hell did that come from? All of his lines.
I got
He said,
things to say about that scene. There's something really stupid about that scene.
I was thinking, it's like, all right, he immediately knows how to control like this little RV, like RC cars. I'm like, what?
Can't drive it apparently though.
He can drive it. Oh yeah, he can drive
drives
it.
like shit.
He drives like shit. Boy, I was like, man,
Oh,
he
shit.
knows how to drive. He just has this on his disposal. Oh, how? He has also. I think he's the guy who brought all these equipment, right? He brought this supercomputer that they register like satellites and databases and shit like that. So, dude, I don't know where he got this stuff. This was not in the second movie.
But guys, I have a past life before you.
I had a past life. I was like, all right, that is very lazy, kind of shitty, but all right. At least they try to find a way to explain. They try to find a way to explain his drastic evolution from his previous, installments. I'm like, all right, stupid, but I'll go with it. All right, at least they tried. At least they tried. It's just one line of dialogue. All right, cool. But also, I love that it's pretty fucked up by today's standards. It's still fucked up by back then, but I love how Brian's like, oh, when Roman gets in a car, he's like, oh man, I'm a better special agent than you, Brian. And I was like, oh, you're special for another reason, Roman. I was like, God damn.
What? I missed that.
Yeah, he's like, you're special for another reason, bro. He's like, oh, damn. I'm like, damn, come on, man. That shit's fucked up.
Okay, can we just talk about how when that RC scene ends, we just don't establish how did they get it back? Like they just left it there, I guess. The scene just ends. It's like, what?
You're thinking too much. You're thinking too much.
I was just like,
I know, but that was really abrupt. I'm like, what? Okay, all right. Moving on,
true, I guess. That is very true. We don't.
Yeah, I had that same thought, but I'm like, I'm thinking too much.
That's right. We don't know how to go to the RC back, but also, man, again, everybody in this movie is super horny because, like, when Ted was talking about, like, man, you gotta treat this safe like it's a lady, you know, you gotta, after caressing it and touching it, she still will give you her ass. I'm like,
she still ain't giving up that ass.
She still won't give up that ass.
I think he got confused. He was
dude,
like, am I recording a song or am I in a movie?
Yeah, these guys.
Like, that's something Ludacris would say, not something that Tej would say.
Right. But I was like, yeah, these dudes are fucking horny. Like, oh, god damn. But what do you guys think of Tej? Because I really like Tej's movie. Like, he's surprisingly he was not in that movie a lot, like I thought he was, but he's still really good. I thought he was funny. I love his chemistry with Roman. I like his chemistry with everybody. I don't know. Ludacris is really good at this movie. I thought it was very, very good. What do you guys think of Tej and Ludacris?
I mean, Ludacris is cool.
You know, like
I think their chemistry. No. Their chemistry is good. I mean, I if you want me to like prefer, like I would say Tej over Roman, but in general, their chemistry is like, it shows that they have chemistry on the screen, but I mean, I don't have really much to say beyond that.
What about you, Henry? Do you like Tej in this movie, or is he better in the later movies? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I like Tej. I mean, I also biased because I really like Ludacris, so I mean, there's that. But I think he's good in this movie. They don't give him as much to do because he is more in the background. Because I noticed that in the scene when they were actually staring at the police, the police building, he wasn't in that scene. You see everyone else except for him. I thought that was odd.
Oh, really?
If you actually go back and watch the scene, he's not in there, but everyone else is in it.
Okay.
Like,
maybe Lucas took a while to take a break and that's took a day off.
I don't know, but I mean, I like his character. I think they really lean into him being the tech guy in the later movies, in terms of coming up with a lot of like the tech plans, which I actually really liked because he ends up being like a Q from like James Bond type of character much later, and I kind of like that because they started to make him and the other characters distinct. Was like, okay, this is the tech guy, and this is his specialization, so we know, okay, this is what he does, and if he's not around or it becomes a problem, because like we know like who's the fighter, who's the better drivers, like who's the tech people. but yeah, I mean, I overall, I do like his character more than Roman in this movie. But I don't think he's in it as much as Roman.
No, he's not in it as much, and I think because I do think later in the future movies, he's a more active participant in the heists or whatever they're doing. Because in here, I mean, he is a big active player in the heist, but he's he's relegated to just scoping the plays out, or he doesn't show up in the big moments. He's more of the guy in the back, just in the computer, making sure everything's cool. So, but still, I liked him. I think he was very enjoyable to watch. I really liked him. I think he was really funny. Also, I want to know what is his past life that he had. He's like, was he a secret agent or some shit? Like, what the fuck? He's like, was this before?
We'll never know.
Too Fast and Furious? It's like, where does his past life come from? Okay, that's very interesting. But I really liked him. Also, I wonder where's Suki? Where is she? She's on this movie. I guess he's.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Yeah. She's gone.
This movie already had enough characters.
Yeah, they're like, Suki, forget about her. But also see the scene later on with Tego and Santos where they're like the whole bathroom scene. I thought it was very, very funny. I liked their relationship. It was very, very well done.
Comedy.
Pure comedy. Oh my god. Well, I love that there's a revolving joke of, oh, this guy's got negativity going on. I'm like, okay, that part's kind of funny. But then I'm like, okay, why are we doing the bomb and the poop? And I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? It's kind of funny in the moment, but once I think about it, I'm like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, it's like,
why am I laughing at this?
Because I really liked seeing the whole scene because like, wow, this it's funny. It's awesome seeing a whole scene with them without cutting off to someone else. Like, oh, that's awesome. Just focus on them. And they're really funny. And again, I didn't see the subtitles, so it was. I imagine the subtitles didn't cover much of what they're saying because at one point Santos was talking about like, oh, Buddhist theories and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck is he talking?
Yeah,
about?
They definitely put that in the subtitles.
Oh, they say that? Okay,
for sure.
It didn't make any sense to me. Like sometimes their conversations.
I was so confused though. I'm like, what?
Yeah, some of these conversations don't really make any sense sometimes. Like, what are they talking about? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, all right.
Maybe they just ad-libbed and they were like, okay, leave it in the movie.
I think that's what it was. But I like seeing their relationship. I like, again, like, that was all about like, oh, stop with the negativity, man. It's not the negativity. And Santos is more like the skeptical guy. So I like seeing that dynamic in this movie. I don't know. Did you guys like them in this movie? I don't know. Maybe I'm a big fanboy, but I really like seeing them. I thought they were funny.
I mean, I don't feel like they really developed them 100%. Although I feel like here, more in this film, more compared to the last one, I feel like they were pushed to the side in the last film. Here, it's like, okay, they get extended scenes where they have a revolving joke, a recurring joke where like he's like, hey man, you gotta get rid of that negativity. I really did actually respect they tried to give them characterization compared to the last movie for sure. I don't know much about them beyond that, but I really enjoyed what they did on screen for sure.
I really like them. But what do you think about Tego and Santos, Henry?
I really like their characters. Like the whole negativity thing. I thought that worked for me, and like they kind of worked it in multiple ways. Like when he was like grilling and he was like burning the ribs. Like, the ribs look dry as hell. I don't want those ribs. Like, but I like their characters, and I actually find it unfortunate that they don't have them come back for any of the future movies.
Yeah.
I actually like them. I mean, I know the crew was getting a little overstuffed, and that's probably why they dropped their character. But I was like, man, I really like them. Yeah. And it kind of feels like their characters and their characterization kind of gets put onto Ludacris's and Tyrese's characters in terms of like being the more comedy, play off each other dynamic duo. I feel like they kind of pushed them out for the future movies and then take some of the other stuff and put it on Ludacris and Roman. And it's like, dang, I actually kind of like them. And I don't know, it's like they're like a lot more physical, like comedy. And I also appreciate them just like talking in Spanish, and it just, I don't know, it was just funny. It was just working for me. Like, and it felt very diverse. I think that's what it was. It added a lot more diversity to the cast too. Yeah,
man, I really liked him in this movie. The only thing, I found the whole negativity thing a little repetitive because he kept saying it. That was the whole stick for the whole movie. Like, oh, you're so negative. You're so negative. I'm like, all right, can we talk about something else? But I still like seeing them. I thought for some people that are not actors at all, I think they're really good. I'm like, man, they're fun. Like their chemistry is really on point. Maybe just because they really get along with each other in real life, so that's cool to see. So I really like them. Like, yeah, it's very unfortunate in later movies we don't see them, although they do show up in one movie later on. We'll find out in the future movie. I won't spoil it right now. It's only very slightly, very
Which one?
short. We'll see. You'll see. But
gosh, I don't remember
it's
that.
very unfortunate that they're not part of the crew. I mean, I think they're mentioned here and there sometimes, but I think I read because I think they're on the future movie because I think the scheduling conflicts. I think they couldn't find a way to bring him back. But I think after that, I think
oh man.
But I think at a certain point, I think they were like, yeah, we're just not going to put him anymore. So, because I think they're not in Fast 9. I don't think so. Unless they have a cameo or something. I don't think so. But I really missed them. So that's why this movie feels like a big event for me, because we have everybody, almost even Vince, if you can count Vince, is like they're in this movie. So it felt like a big event. So yeah, I missed them, but I think they were really, really good. So I hope to see them back. Hopefully, if they're going to end this franchise at one point, I hope they're back before it's over. So that'd be cool. But
apparently they're in F9.
Are they?
It says on IMDb, it says Santos. So
it's just Santos? Oh shit. Where's Tego?
maybe. So
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't check him. I didn't check
Shit, okay.
maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm ready for that. I
yeah,
am
we might be
ready.
getting the return.
Dude, they better return. Because like they do return slightly for a cameo in one movie. I was like, that's cool to see them, but oh man, I want to see them back like full time. I want to see them like as characters again. But I don't know. It was cool seeing them in this movie. They were great. And I love how they skipped the race entirely. I love how they just skipped it. They were like, oh, we're gonna race with these cars. And they're like,
No
oh,
more
we're about to
racing.
race. It was like, we're about to race, and then we skipped already to the aftermath. They got the car. Like, damn, this skipped the races. And all right, like you said, like no races in this movie, no races except for one. We'll talk about that. But they were like, races? No, forget about that shit. This movie's an action movie. Forget the racing stuff. It's over. So like, all right. I mean, it's kind of fucked up that they kind of set it up like we're gonna see racing and not execute it. That's kind of fucked up. But again, I didn't need it. I was like, I don't need to see a race, so I wasn't annoyed by it. I didn't hate it, but I was like, man, it's kind of for anybody who's expecting there's a race in this movie. Well, kind of disappointed. But I also like seeing the trial scene where they're trying to not get caught by the cameras. That was fun seeing those character dynamics, trying to be better than this other person. I'll be better than you. So I like seeing that stuff. It was really fun. I also love seeing that where Han's falling in love with Giselle. She's like, oh, I think I'm falling in love. So I was like, oh, that's cool. All right, I like seeing that little spark in his eyes.
That came out of nowhere. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I don't blame
right?
you, Han. Don't blame
right?
you.
I don't blame you either, Han. It's just like, man, that's cool. It's like, oh, I'm falling in love with her. It's like, oh, that's sweet. And
I mean, yeah, but
that's cool. But again, you remember how Ted said, like, I had a life before? They brought it again for these other characters. They're like, oh, we also had a life before this. I was like, that doesn't work again. All right, it worked for Tej. It doesn't work for everybody. I'm sorry, because like Han said, like, oh, we also had a life before all you guys. I'm like, man, fuck you. It doesn't work. Okay, it worked for Tej. Don't bring that lazy shit again with you. Like, no, because like, especially with Han, it doesn't make sense. Because like knowing Tokyo Drift, knowing what happened in this Better Luck Tomorrow, for him to have access a fake safe. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how can you access this big high-end safe? Like, this past life you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that's some bullshit. But I don't know. I like seeing this whole like the safe thing. I like seeing Han and Giselle scene I guess one of the most iconic scenes of the franchise, where Giselle's like, "I'm sexy," fool, and she walks on the beach. I'm like, all right, that's one scene, the iconic scene in this movie. But I like seeing their relationship together because they're kind of developing these characters, their backstories. I like seeing that stuff. And I also love seeing the scene with Dom, like, this is Brazil, and the racing stuff.
This is Brazil.
Oh, that shit. It was like, this is Brazil.
Okay.
That was the point where I was like, wow, they really like leaning into like Vin Diesel being racially ambiguous. So it's like,
right.
he can blend in anywhere. He can be Italian, he can be black, he can be
He's Dominican,
Brazilian,
everything.
Dominican, like it don't matter. He's
because
everything.
that's true. At that point, he's like, yeah, I'm with the people, man. I'm with the ethnic people. I'm not a white guy. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever you are,
very
dog.
relaxed.
I was funny like this is Brazil. Like, okay, that was really funny. But all right.
Everybody protect me here.
But I also like seeing Rock being just badass. All right, that's kind of cool. But all right, this race scene, the actual race of the movie. All right, it's cool seeing the team chemistry, getting a team building. Kind of just play with each other. That's fine. But man, that shit is reckless as fuck. That race. First of all, they stole cop cars. You think that's enough to just go home already with that? But no, they're like, all right, we just stole these very, very, very. We can go to jail if we're seeing these cars immediately, kind of cars. Well, let's just go race. And Roman turning off his blinkers on and also using his PA system, like, hey, we're gonna race. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you're already costing too much attention to yourself than you're
thinking too much. You're thinking too much.
You're costing way too much attention. I'm like, oh, let's have fun by doing a race in these very illegal cars that we stole. I'm like, wow, dude, like this is dumb. This whole race is dumb as hell. And I mean, the streets are empty as fucking real. Like, what is going on? Like, no one's there at night. What is going on? Everybody's locked down. It's not Corona yet. Like, what's going on? I don't get it. And it's like,
apparently in this movie it is.
I thought that was dumb. And I mean, I think the race itself, I don't like it. Wasn't
okay.
It's compared to like the previous race, especially the Tokyo Drift and even Fast and Furious. This race was kind of lackluster to me. It was very disappointing. I was like, oh wow, it wasn't filmed horribly. It wasn't exciting for me. I was like, this is very unnecessary. I don't need this race here. I don't really need that. It took away from the movie for a little bit. I don't really need this here. It's wasted time. Especially, I mean, aside from getting to see them kind of talk with each other and have that chemistry. Other than that, I don't really need the scene or this race. It's really stupid. But I do like Roman's reference in that line saying, I'm hungry. I was like, oh, that's from the second movie. That's kind of funny. Cool. And so Brian finally wins a race. Or did he? Dun, dun, dun. Because I don't know. I was kind of sweet. I mean, finding out like, oh, Dom let you win. I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. That's kind of sweet. I like that. But oh yeah, I forgot. This is in this movie. You guys remember that? He's in this movie because he shows up to help me. I was like, oh shit, yeah, Vince is in this movie. Oh, forgot about your ass. He's like,
what?
His character again is so weird because it's like he does a lot of things he does off screen. So when he shows up, he's like he's done some stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm involved with Reyes, but I don't know. I'm also doing things off screen, but we don't know exactly what you're doing. So it's like, what is his deal in this? I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know. He's here. I don't really give a shit. Also, it's also weird that you hear some Don Omar music in the movie, like diegetically in the movie world. So it's kind of weird to think like, wait, so Don Omar is playing this character, but Don Omar music is being played in the movie.
You're thinking too much.
It's a bizarre world.
I was about to say that.
It's
weird. Too much.
It's weird. It's like, I don't know. Is Santos Don Omar? I don't know. It's strange.
we could pick apart the series, man. I mean, Fast and the Furious. Enough Fast and the Furious. Ludacris is playing in the background.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. So,
Tyrell in the first movie.
That is true. So it's hurting my brain. It's hurting it a lot. But then we get the barbecue scene, which I really like the scene. I thought it was very nice. I like seeing, how they're gonna steal the money. I love how they're having a family dinner before they're gonna steal money. I was like, let's have a good barbecue before we go do this very, very criminal stuff. But I also love seeing the scene where like Roman's talking to Tej, like, oh, what are you gonna do with your money? And Tej's like, oh, I want to open a garage back home. And I was like, wait a minute, don't you have a garage already? I mean, the big part of your thing in the second movie is because you have a garage. So I don't know. I was like, what are you talking about? You want to open another one? What?
I think he's assuming we're supposed to assume. I think he wants to like upgrade it and like do more with it. I think that's the assumption, but the writing in that scene is a little.
Oh
weird.
Yeah, the writing.
That's what my assumption was. I don't know.
That's not what I found. I was like, wait, you already have a garage. Like, did you lose it between the second movie? What? But
if he had said, "Oh, upgrade,"
yeah, upgrade. But man, they fucked up in that scene. Like, all right. But I don't know. I like this entire sequence of them just having a nice sweet little moment, just kind of joking with each other, but nicely. Joking about Tego's shitty ass ribs that look very dry. Like you said, Henry.
It looks
You know,
so dry.
A family picture.
I would never eat anything from any of their cookouts because in the first one they had dry ass chicken. I'm like, I'll just take the beer, please. Like
I'll just drink the Corona. I'm good.
Shit. Man, it probably you suck up here. But I love again like Santos saying like, man, I'm gonna use my money to give him some cooking classes because his cooking sucks. I'm like, man, that's just funny. So that's cool.
That
And
shit had me dying. I was like, oh yeah.
that's just that shit was funny. I like seeing that
Yeah.
stuff. I like seeing Haas just looking at Giselle the whole time like, Giselle, I love Giselle. Look at me, notice me, please. I was like, all
I'm
right.
gonna climb that tree.
He's just like eating popcorn. Like I know I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Also, I forgot to mention like in that when they were talking with each other, I love we get to see Giselle's backstory. Apparently, she was in the army, just like Gal Gadot was.
Which gets a little problematic if you think about
I
it.
know.
Yeah. I was like, yeah,
They're bombing
okay.
children.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. Well, that's Giselle for you. That's Gal Gadot for you. Yeah, and also like seeing how she noticed that Han's eating popcorn. I was like, oh, you're a heavy smoker, weren't you? She's like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Also, that scene where Dom he lets Vince in on the heist. He's like, there's always food for family. There's always he said family again. There's always food for family. I love that scene because like, all right, Vince, I can let you in the heist. But like, wait a minute, did you talk with the crew about it? Because you guys made a fair 11 million shares for each. So having Vince here kind of complicates the shares a little bit, kind of shortens up the money. So I would have talked to the crew about it first. But again, it's not like Vince needs that money anyway. Wink, wink. Rip Vince. Rest in peace, my man. But I just thought it was funny. I was just funny. Also, I noticed again, Dom's not drinking Corona. We're not drinking Corona. That's a first one. I was like, that's a betrayal to the series, in my opinion.
He's drinking brand name beer.
Brand name beer. But I mean, they were covering the shit of that label. They were like, make sure you don't show what this vague, unnamed beer that we're drinking. Okay.
Because they ain't paid for it.
They didn't pay for it. I mean,
like, no, we can't get Corona this time.
But a seal can afford Coronas. I mean, come on, man. Like that was interesting. But I don't know. I like the scene. Also, I thought it was funny. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you know how in the end where Dom's giving this beautiful speech about family. Familia, salud, familia. They're doing this rotating scene, we're showing everybody. Dude, they caught off Vince from that shot. I was like, God damn. I mean,
exactly what I'm telling you. It's like,
I mean, you're doing Vince bad. I mean,
get out of here.
it's like he was in that group. He was there, but once we showed everybody's like the prominent characters. These are the prominent characters. Vince, like, hey Vince, can you step aside for a little bit? I mean, I know you're fine. It's just I think you're blocking the camera a little bit. You're kind of blocking it. Can you just step aside for a little bit? Oh my God! Damn,
I thought that was Carl Urban from The Boys. Are you sure?
It's like, man, I felt bad for him, man. They did him wrong. I was just like, man, that sucked. But I do like the scene. Do you guys like the whole barbecue scene? Do you guys like Dom's beautiful, rousing speech? I don't know. It really took the heartstrings for me. I really felt that. I don't know. Am I alone in this sense?
I thought it was good. I mean, for what it was. It was corny. It was kind of dumb, but I was already committed to the movie, so I was like, okay, I love it. I don't care what anybody says. I love it. Man,
I love it. I genuinely felt things here. I loved it. What about you, Henry? Are we alone here? Did you feel something? Were you like, this is bullshit?
It was all right. Like, it was, I guess it was one of those things where they wanted to have like characters bonding, but they didn't want to like have, I guess, a repetition of scenes in terms of like trying to do the same thing in terms of like them doing more like training or like, so it was something where it's like you can still get some of that character stuff without like having the exact same thing happening before shit actually starts to go down. Because literally, I think right after this is when their shit gets busted open a little bit in terms of plans.
That is so it was a cool calm before the storm kind of scene. And this whole movie's about the family. This is like the theme of what's gonna keep on going for the rest of this franchise.
Family.
So I like this shit, and especially knowing why Dom let Brian win because he wants to give that $1 million for the babies. Like, oh, that's sweet. I like that shit. Like that. That made me tear up. No, I didn't tear up, but I was like, man, this shit is sweet, man. I like that stuff. But yeah, so let's get to the real shit. Dom versus fucking Hobbs. Beautiful. Love the whole fight scene. They're breaking walls though. They're breaking concrete walls like it's made of like paper mache or whatever. But I like.
There you go, thinking.
But I liked it. I love. What do you guys think of this big roided fight between these two roided men? What do you guys think of this big fight scene?
Dumb, stupid, idiotic. Yet I had a fucking fun ass.
Hell yeah,
two muscular men are fighting, and it's all fun, and it's all
yeah, man. I think it's around the time as well where Vin and Rod were kind of competing with each other, like who's the bigger badass, right? Because I don't know if you guys heard this, like they had this whole thing where like they had to have the last punch. They had to have the last punch or something like that. So I think this is, I can tell this fight scene, like, no, wait, I'm better than you. No, wait, I'm better than you. Until, of course, Vin Diesel had to win because, you know, he's the hero, you know. And in this point, Rock is still the antagonist, so he had to win. But, I don't know, the fight scene is brutal as shit. I love it. What do you think of the fight scene, Henry?
Yeah, I really loved it, and I appreciate that it was like very stylistic in the beginning with them crashing through walls and shit, and then it just evolved into like them just brawling on the floor, like rolling around because they were just like tired and just wanted to win.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's like I'm just gonna pin you on the ground, and that's all I can do right now. That's a real fight.
I do love. I love that Dom suddenly gets the power of, oh no, my family's getting attacked. I get power.
Yes, dude. Dude, seeing his like eyes bulge up. He's like, my sister. He's like going crazy. He's like, oh, fuck. I love that shit. I was like, man, it's crazy, but it's beautiful. It's just so well done. I love it. I love it all. I also love the way they ended it all with like a callback to the first movie where he's looks like he's gonna kill him with a wrench. I'm like, oh, that shit's awesome. Like, good callback. It all makes sense. So I liked it. I was freezing, wasn't I? I was freezing that shit. I was freezing it for a little bit.
You weren't.
Okay, cool. I saw myself on the camera. But I love it. I love everything here. It was very well done. It's beautiful. And to make things better, that ambush scene, beautiful. I'm like, god damn, like seeing the Rock just like eviscerating these people with these fucking giant ass gun, like fuck yeah, man. And I love seeing like this team dies, which I actually kind of felt something there. I was like, oh man, the team, we don't really meet the team at all, but I mean, I like the team for a little bit. So I'm like, oh man, that's especially that dude with the greasy ass hair. He talks like this all the time in the whole movie. Hey, boss.
I'm masculine.
I'm masculine. Like what?
I fight.
I felt for The Rock there, you know. He's like, man, his team, they're dying here. But that ambush scene, very well done. I mean, the action was sweet. Did you guys like this ambush scene as well? Did you guys like it?
Yeah, especially like you said, when all his Hobbs, all of Hobbs' employees and stuff like that, they were catching L's. Like the black guy, when he was like hanging out the car and you see the grenade drop in front of him, you're just like, fuck, man. Like,
right.
I don't know him, but damn, man.
It's like, that sucks. I'm like, oh, man. I feel really bad for him. I'm like, that shit sucks. But the fights, everything, just like, especially the end where Dom and Brian Vince and everybody's like, started coming out. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, man. This is cool. So, I like this stuff. Like, did you like this fight scene, Andy?
Yeah. I mean, it's well shot and everything. Oh shit.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I mean, you know. No.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely sucks. It's like, oh my god, oh no, the Rock's gonna die. His friends are dead. No, they're coming to save him. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's pretty good, man.
Man, it was, again, the action so well done, so well done. It's not like this is awesome. Like, all right, of course, the Rock's not gonna die this movie. Right? He'll live. He'll make you through.
Oh, of course not.
But
No.
he won't die. But I mean, I didn't expect him to come back for later movies. That's for sure. I thought he's a one and done in this movie. That's it. So to see him,
Oh no.
To know he's a big prominent figure in this universe, I didn't expect that. So he could have died in this movie by all means, but he was a Rock. He's not gonna die.
Yeah, at the time. So,
at
the time we thought that.
Yeah, I thought at the time it's like he could have died. I mean, who knows? But cool that he made it, and I also I love how, so Vince dies. All right, Vince dies, and I love how Dom isn't affected by it at all. He's like, he doesn't try to save him. He's not like, we should go to the hospital or we should go do something with him. He's like, oh shit, I'll take care of your baby, I guess. It's like, God damn. He didn't even try. Because like, if this was Dom, like, if this was Brian who's dying, or if this was Letty who was dying, he would have tried anything in his power to save him. But this was Vince. He was like, oh man, well, this sucks. All right, I'll take care of your kid. It's like, man, he didn't care. He didn't try. I was like, all right. It's like he knew that once he got this new crew, like, these people are better. Vince, you were the OG, but I don't like you that much either. You were there. So I guess I liked you, but go away. You're done. Oh no, you're dying. Oh no, we can't do anything to save him. He's dead. No. I don't know if I put him on the weirdest table.
Death scene ever. It's like, oh, you mean my child?
All right,
I guess I'm dead. All right.
He's just dead on the table. It's like,
they put him on the table. What? They didn't even bury him anywhere. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
He's all right. He's dead.
Bad,
we established.
I mean, dude, like Dom didn't care. Not even if Vince. I'm like, man, I named my baby like from your name, dude. Dom was like, I'll keep an eye on your baby. He does not. That baby never comes back. That baby never comes back in the movies. His wife never comes back in the movie.
No.
So it's like, I'll keep an eye on them.
Here's a present.
Oh, that's true. I was like, I'll give you a present. But he said, like, I'll keep an eye on them forever. No, you do not.
No, he doesn't.
No, you're not. You're an asshole, Dom, so fuck you. Like, trying to lie on his last dying breath.
I keep my eye on them.
I keep my eye on them.
I lied.
So I was like, man, poor Vince. He's just had a bad time in this movie. He fucking died. So I love how Hobbs, he decides to just fuck my job. I'm a lawmaker. I don't give a shit. I'm going rogue, just like Brian did. I mean, any lawmaker who meets Dom immediately goes rogue. They're like, I don't care. I'm part of the family now. I want to kill these people. I want to kill Reyes illegally. He should not be killing him like that. But fuck him. I want to kill him. I'm like, damn. All right. So Hobbs is like, fuck my job.
Speaking of law enforcement going rogue, we forgot to mention the police officer lady.
Oh, Nevin
has the hots. Has the hots with Dom.
Yeah. Doesn't arrest Dom.
Dom's love interest number 5.
Love you, Dom. Come here.
Yeah, because like, he goes
number
to
4.
her apartment. Oh, number 4. Yeah, because he goes to her apartment.
Yeah, that was so weird.
At
the beginning, he's like, I know you.
I know.
I'm like, what?
Oh, you're like,
okay, is this gonna come up?
You're wearing my chain. That makes you my girl.
Right? Like, oh, she must have been special.
Why do you care about the silver?
She should have arrested him right there. It was like, oh man, but Dom is a heart of gold. He's not a bad guy. He's just he's something understood. Because like she was the only person defending him the whole time. Because I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want to arrest this dude. He's like, but wait a minute. He stole gas and gave it to the people, so he's not a bad guy.
He's bald.
Yeah, he's bald. I mean, he's white sweatshirt. He's so hot. I'm like, well, okay.
The abs.
Yes, I love how Hobbs was like, no, I don't give a fuck about my job anymore. I'm gonna do all these illegal things. But hey, I'm The Rock. I'll be fine by the end of the movie. I'll still have my position. I'll be fine. So I was like, okay. So, all right, let's talk about the safe stuff. Let's talk about the safe.
Thank you. Oh, we're to the most ridiculous part, but I love it.
Man, my God. All right. These two small ass cars can pull up this giant, more than 1,000 tons of fucking metal safe, and they toss it around like it's like a kite. I'm like, what the fuck? They drag that shit like it's nothing. And dude, even the part when like Brian is pushing it from the back of his car, I'm like, how the fuck? That makes no sense. Okay, I mean, I love it. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
See, now you're thinking the right way.
But now I love it.
Because now with you, this is not the most ridiculous thing they do in these movies.
No.
And this is just the beginning. And be honest with you, like this is way more possible than what they do in 6.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, they're not gonna get any more ridiculous than this. Like,
you see, we have more money.
That shit was so ridiculous.
It was impossible, but I could like it was one of those things was like I could leave it alone. I could be like, all right, I can go with this. Like I can suspend my belief, even though I know it's not particularly possible for them to do it. It was really cool. Not gonna lie, it was really cool watching them drag around the city.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I can see how people are like, yeah, you can't do that. And I'm like, you're right. You couldn't do that.
It's just, I don't know. When I saw it the first time, I didn't even think about the physics or anything. I was like, all right, this makes sense. There's 2 cars. It makes sense that they pull this big weight, right? But I'm like, seeing this time around, I'm like, nah, come on, man. If they made the safe a little bit smaller, I kind of would have bought it more. But since they made it look like this is the biggest safe you could ever see, I was like, come on, dude. It's literally a room. It's a giant room. So I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. I also love how they don't give a fuck about civilian life. Because they wreck shit. I mean, they destroy.
Oh, they don't.
They destroy the shit out of Rio, and they don't give a fuck. I'm like, wow. These are our heroes, man. These are supposed to be our heroes, and they just wrecking shit everywhere, the whole city. I mean, dude, they make sure they see reaction shots about civilians scared. They're like, oh my god, I'm getting hit by this car. Ah! Dude, like at one point, Brian like just slams a car with the safe, and it hits like these other cars that are about to hit the pedestrians. I'm like, wow, dude. And you can see Brian glee, like just smile and laugh twice in the whole sequence. He was like, hell yeah, this is fun. I'm like, Brian, you're fucked up. I mean, we kind of saw it in the last movie, even with Too Fast and Furious, you're very fucked up. But wow, I mean, fuck civilian life, fucking right. But hey, it was fun. I like this whole sequence. It was very enjoyable. It was very well done. It was really a lot of fun, especially when they go to the bridge. The whole stuff was fun. I like seeing that stuff on the bridge. It was, I mean, again, Dom pulls the safe by himself with that one car. All right, I was like, yes, I'm all in. I mean, it makes sense because he uses NOS, man. The NOS helps him pull that weight.
The one time they use in the movie.
All right, the one time they bring NOS back in the franchise is for that very pivotal scene. So I was like, all right, I'm all in. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I loved it. I love.
Oh my god.
I love Hobbs' threat at the end. Like, you better do your last day, Toretto. You know, I like Dom's like, you're not gonna get me. So I don't know. I like that whole threat that he give him. I also like the bait and switch at the end. The bait and switch is cool because I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, where's the money though? And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. I like the whole like, oh, it's because like we don't see Tego and Santos and Giselle in this whole sequence. I was like, where are they at? So I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. That's kind of makes sense. I mean, I don't know how it fits into this small ass garbage truck, but okay. I'm in. It makes sense, I guess.
There you go, thinking again.
That makes sense. And also, the ending of the movie. I love it. I love everything in the sequence. Everything from seeing like how they're showing the revealing the money. I like the reaction. I like Santos like throwing the cards away. Like, oh fuck, how much money?
Yeah, he's just like,
And it was like, whoa, okay, that's cool. And so I loved everybody's reaction. That was kind of cool. And then seeing how they're using their money was pretty very well done, especially with the music. I mean, slaps. That whole music, that song, and the whole sequence, beautiful. I love that song. By the way, if you're not, I mean, Dance Like Glue is a huge song. That song revolutionized the world in 2011. Still is played today in clubs and shit. I mean, people. That song, it's iconic song. I really love that song. It's one of the best songs from Don Omar. But I love seeing like Teguan Santos. Are they broke? We never find out because we never showed that shit again. Because like I remember seeing that in the theater, and I love like, all right, of course the two Puerto Rican guys lose their money immediately because like,
Well,
I mean, we don't know.
I think one put on red and another person on black. So one of them's gonna win, and one of them's gonna lose.
That's right.
So either way, and they're friends. I mean, they win anyway.
That's true. But didn't Santos say at the end like, all right, I'll go black because that was like, oh god, all this negativity, man, this negativity, and it's like, all right, I'll go black. So I don't know. Were they? Did he bet the same spot or did they bet separately?
I thought one bet red and one bet black, from what I remember.
Okay, if that's the thing, if that's the case, okay, that's cool. Because I remember thinking like, man, are they broke? Are they not? We never find out. Like, oh shit. But I don't know. That was pretty kind of funny. But I was like, at the same time, I was like, man, of course they have to lose money. Like, come on, I want to see them being like, living good, living well. Like, they lost their money or playing gambling and shit. It's like, come on, man, it's just all right. But whatever. That's kind of funny. And I like seeing Tej and Roman's scene. I thought it was very funny, very hilarious. Like, I got one of the 4 cars in the Western Hemisphere, and Tej's like, bitch, I got the second car, and I got 2 women in that car. So what you got? I upped your game, bitch. And I'm like, okay, I won't up you, motherfucker. I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny. I like that scene. And Han Giselle smacking in the car, getting to it, going to Berlin. And again, they have to tease Tokyo again. I'm like, all right, we get it. He's supposed to be in Tokyo Drift. I get it. All right, he'll get there eventually. All right, just let it go. Fine, he'll be there at one point. Just let him go. And I also love how somehow Neves is with Dom at the end. They're now a couple.
Yeah.
I was like, where's she coming from? Like,
all right.
Where's you doing this? Like, okay. It's like, again, Hobbs threatened him. He's like, hey, I'll give you 24 hours or you'll be under arrest. And I was like, you'll never find me. But she decides to go with him, with Dominic Toretto, and not arrest him. I was like, man, all right. I mean, you're a good person and all, but you're a shitty cop. Like, fuck. I mean, you did your job well sometimes, but, man, morality, Ryan, everybody, man, sucks. But I don't know. I like even this ending. I like seeing, like, I also love when Dom says like, "This is the happiest I ever see my sister," and Brian's like, "It's because we're free." No, bitch, because you're rich. I mean, all that money, you live on the beach side, nobody's disturbing you. It's because you're rich. That's why she's happy, not because we're free. Like, get the fuck out of here. But the ending was great. Seeing like, oh, they're gonna race again. Who's gonna win? We'll never find out who wins that race. I mean, does Dom or Brian win? I think Brian would win. And of course, the post-credit scene. Eva Mendes is back. Ladies, she's alive. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God. So it's like, it's interesting because the ending made it feel like we're done with the franchise. I don't know if you guys felt the same way. Because it almost seemed like, yeah, is this where everybody's at right now? Everybody's doing good. Mia's going to have a baby. Like, they're living well. And so it kind of really felt like it's ending the franchise for me. So they kind of add this lady thing. It's like, oh, but wait, there's more. So I was like, all right. I guess they felt like they had more to do. But for me, if this was the last movie, I would have liked it if it was the ending. It would have worked for me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Do you guys feel that this could have been a good end cap of the franchise right here?
I guess, yeah, I would say a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I guess when you think about it, in terms of a lot of the different characters, you kind of get a lot of bookends. In terms of, yeah, you could have stopped here and there would have been like, you don't want to have much story to tell, and the writers were like, okay, we're gonna make sure everyone gets their little happy endings and everyone's cool, and then when this movie came out and the dump trucks of money came by and
Right.
they dumped them in the front yard. They were like, all right, we gotta make more of these because
We gotta make more money.
can't leave this money on the table. Like it's
No, we gotta do more movies. Because like it all
when
makes
the movie came out and it was this is when the movie came out and it was just it hit. I don't know what came out that year, but this movie just blew the doors of every movie that came out that year.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we got to make more of these. It was obvious that they were going to make another one. Like,
not even Marvel was stacking up. Not even Marvel was stacking up. I think that movie that year came out was like Captain America, the first Avenger, I think, in 2011. So that movie didn't do as much as the later movies. So yeah, Fast Five, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the first Avenger.
And Thor, I think. So I think it blew everything up with the water. Like I think
Thor.
Fast Five.
Yeah, I think it was Thor.
Thor, the first movie. So yeah, this movie dominated the 2011, I think. So because this movie was incredible, and it's just it made sense that this is the ending. It's you kind of have to explain like why Giselle's not in Tokyo Drift. You kind of have to explain that part. Well, other than that, this would have been a perfect ending for the franchise, in my opinion. So I was like, all right, kind of adding this other post-credit scene there. Like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, makes sense why Han's going to Berlin because she's in Berlin. It's like, all right, that's kind of cool. But I don't know. I like the ending. I think this is actually the first ending in the franchise I actually liked. That I actually think is the best one. It actually concludes something, you know? It's not like they leave something up in the air or it's a shitty ending. It's like they actually ended things very well, in my opinion. So I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I really thought it was cool. And also, I could tell the post-credits scene was done way after the fact because the Rock's goatee looks terrible. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's like the Rock, this goatee was pasted on. It looks like shit. I'm like, damn, it looks terrible. But man, I don't know. This movie, one of the positives I will say, female characters, they're actually good in this movie. They're actually well respected. Giselle, she's finally better. She's not lusting after Dom the whole movie. So she's actually cool and she's confident. She's badass. She's cool. I like Neves. Neves was a pretty cool cop. I liked her. She's very proficient in her job. Again, she kind of does some questionable things at the end of the movie, but that's another thing. And Mia's cool. Mia's actually doing stuff in here. That's revolutionary. Like, wow, she's actually contributing a lot in here, so that's cool. So the women here, very well done. It's cool. I mean, the thing with Giselle, how she wants those fingerprints, it's okay. Kind of questionable too, but it's fine. She's a sexy woman, and she's using that, to take advantage of men. So that's cool. But I don't know. I think I want to ask you guys here, who is your favorite character in this movie? I'll say mine. I think mine will probably have to be Tej, maybe. I like Tej a lot. Tej is really funny. He's very cool. Oh, no, wait. No. Wait. It's Hobbs. Hobbs is fucking badass. Love this movie. You can beat Hobbs in this movie. He's incredible. I think it's my favorite. I think it's better later on, but
yeah. I think in terms of if we're talking about single characters, then yeah, I guess it would be Hobbs. Because I just like him like in scenes with pretty much every person that he's in. Every person that he interacts with is just The Rock being charismatic. Because I like Tej, but I think Tej didn't get enough screen time compared to a lot of the other characters. Because I think this movie, I guess it is Hobbs. Because a lot of other characters they're better as like a duo or a trio of characters together, and not as individuals.
Yeah, exactly. Like even Dom, because I kind of disagree with what Danny said last episode, where he says like Vin Diesel's acting gets worse and worse. I actually thought it was really good in this movie. I thought he actually can't give a fuck. I thought he actually wanted to be there. So I kind of had to disagree with him what he said. I actually like Dom in this movie a lot. I like Dom in here. He was pretty cool, but as an individual by himself, he's like, he's better when he's with Brian or he's with somebody else, but by himself, you don't see that. So I think it's Hobbs for me. I think Hobbs is like, it's just, I don't know. fucking force of nature, man. I loved him in the movie. What about you, Andy? Is your favorite character Reyes?
Um, if they had given him more screen time, I would have said Han, but Hobbs definitely for sure. Because
dude.
he's the most charismatic out of everybody. He's clearly like The Rock is clearly committed to this role the whole time. He's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it 100%. I don't give a shit that this is cheesy dialogue. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it this way, and I'm gonna fucking fight and beat the shit out of Vin Diesel.
Man, he just sold it. He was good. I think everybody here in this movie was really good. I mean, Gal Gadot, really liked her in the movie. I thought she was a little bit better than the last movie. I think she's been really good. I think she actually has good charisma. Han has always been good, so I really liked them. Tej was really good. Everybody here was really good. I mean, Roman, like I said, sometimes he kind of hit my nerves a little bit, but I liked him. In comparison to future movies, oh my God, that's something to talk about later. But I liked everybody here. I like everyone in this movie. Vince, he was okay. Vince is all right. Vince is... I don't need you here, Vince. I'm sorry. But... oh, shit, Andy, you okay?
Who we're talking about? I don't know.
Vince, your favorite character. Did you like Vince?
You mean Carl?
Oh, man. Come on. Don't do my man like that. Vince did fine. But anyway, I think Hobbs, for sure, the best part of this movie. Or, yeah, I'm not saying the best part, but he's one of the best parts of the movie. So I really, really like them. So the soundtrack, does it slap or does it misses? We don't hear a lot about it in the movie itself. It's kind of more towards the end where we kind of hear it. Well, in the credits, yeah, they play the whole soundtrack.
I would say this is more score oriented than soundtrack. I had a hard time finding the soundtrack, mind you, because most of the songs aren't even in the movie this time around.
Oh, okay.
Whereas most of them are in the movie, you know. A lot of it's blocked on streaming. If you even try to find it, it's there, but it's like blocked. But I think the score it's pretty good actually in this one. I feel like, oh wow, they actually found ways to have action oriented score segments, and
right,
oh, it's cool and it's serious, and yeah, the music that is in here, I'm like, okay, I'm finding myself dancing a little bit. I'm like, ooh, okay, all right, I feel the vibe. All right,
it's true. There's a score in this movie because I have to kind of notice myself about the end of the movie. Like, oh wait a minute, there's no soundtrack in this movie. It's all scored. There's barely any licensed music in here. I was like, wow.
Any that is there really is more in the background, if any.
Yeah, it's in the background, or it's in the credits. In the credits, that's like where you finally hear it. Because I heard some Ludacris in there. I heard, because of course Ludacris is a movie. You have to put his music in there somehow. Ludacris, I heard Ludacris. A lot of Don Omar. I mean, shit, he made this movie for sure. His music made the movie. So the soundtrack, I didn't hear about it. So. But I'll say because of one song at the end, it slaps, man. That shit slaps. Song slaps. So I don't know.
It was so disorienting. It was so disorienting to hear Joe Budden. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Slaughterhouse wasn't around back then, weren't they? I forgot about that.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, they were around. Oh yeah, Busta Rhymes. Yeah, they were around before Joe ruined it.
What do you think of the music in the movie, Henry? Did you like it? It slaps, misses? Is it
there's not, the songs aren't as prominent in this one, but I think they fit the setting and the tone just like the last movie. And yeah, it is, I guess it is more like score, going on, and looking at the budget, it's like, oh yeah, I guess they did have a lot more money for that, because it's like they had like an extra $40 million to play with in terms of budget, so could through extra $5 million for score and stuff like that, or something like that. So I mean, it's one of those things where it fit for what we needed in terms of making the action scenes very exciting, minus all the visuals and everything. But it's one of those things where it's like a good a decent score doesn't reveal a bunch of attention to itself. It's just like, okay, this works. But a bad score, like, you can I recognize the music just not working, like Zack Snyder. When the music just sticks out, it's like, God, you could have picked something else.
All right.
Please pick something else. But here it's like, okay, some of it was invisible, but it worked. I think it worked for
Yeah.
the movie, and I didn't
Yeah.
have any problems.
It's serviceable. It's not. Sometimes I really like some moments in there with the score. Like, oh shit, it sounds actually makes me pumped up. I really like that, but it's not anything like wow. It's John Williams in here, revolutionary. You know, it's not anything like that. But I really like the score. So it's not anything I was like, oh man, I kind of want to listen to more licensed music in here. Like I didn't even think about that at all. It's like, oh, I actually like what they're doing here. I didn't mind it at all. So it's like it's very well done.
They heard you for the next movie. They're like, oh, you wanted licensed music? How about Wiz Khalifa and 2 Chainz?
Oh shit! I can't wait for the soundtrack for that one. But I don't know. I really like the music, and if I'm gonna rank the villains here in this episode, I still have to say DK number 1. It's number 1. Number 2 is Braga. Number 3 is Reyes. I actually, you know what? Reyes was fine. He was also a very serviceable villain. But I do like seeing him. I do like seeing his personality a little bit, you know. But I like seeing him. He's just a very cookie cutter villain, but it was cool. But I have to put number 3 because I actually like seeing him a little bit more. Number 4 is Verone. Verone. And number 5, Johnny Tran is still last. Johnny Tran, I'm sorry, but you're still number 5. Oh my god! What about you, Andrew? Is anything changed in the list of villains so far? Is Reyes number 1? I don't think so.
No, Reyes is not number 1. I think mine might be the same as yours because Johnny Tran is definitely in the bottom because he's still just Johnny Tran. And I think in terms of like villains who get the most screen time and the most like character arc, I think DK is still number 1. Like even though everyone likes to shit on the 3rd movie, but I think he's the most filled out antagonist. And yeah, I think I would do the same order. Like I would put Braga as number 2 because I think he's the most like threatening, even though we don't really know he's actually Braga until the end. But like, he does get a lot of screen time. And yeah, I guess I would put Reyes as number 3 because if I had to choose between Reyes and Carter Verone, I would not want to deal with Reyes. Like Reyes is way more intimidating than Carter. Like,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, because he has like the whole city of Brazil, like not the whole city of Brazil, Rio de Janeiro unlocked.
Yeah. The police.
Like Carter, you just have part of Miami, like
right. His only part is a club, and that's all he has.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he has the police as payroll too.
You got a few cops.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
some police. Yeah, it's not the same.
But it's not enough. It's not the same. So yeah, I would say same. Probably same in order as you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
and what about you? Anything? Is your list about the same, or is it different?
DK is still at the top. I know I said Carter Verone last time. I've changed my mind a little bit on that.
Okay. Yeah, because I was surprised with your list last time. I was like, whoa.
I don't know the villains' names again.
Reyes is the banker. The banker douche.
The banker.
Braga's the mystery villain. He was there the whole time.
The Braga. I definitely would say Johnny Trejo's absolutely in the bottom over here.
Yep.
The more I think about it, I would say I would agree with y'all. Honestly, that there's not much to say. I mean, you guys have said it all.
Yeah, I think it gets
a perfect
better
list right there. I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, I think it gets better later on. Maybe some things might change, but yeah, Reyes. Yeah, Reyes was cool, but it wasn't pivotal for anything in the movie. He was just an excuse for something, like for things to happen. But yeah, DK's still number 1 because I think he has some things fleshed out a little bit. It's very minimal, but there's something there. It makes him a little more humanized than the rest of the villains, that's for sure. So I also the henchman of this movie, he was fine. He was serviceable, I guess. He was cool. He was all right. I think the last one was better. The other guy from the last movie. I put this henchman from this movie like number 3 maybe. That's really it. But if I can rank the movies, I'm gonna say Fast Five, number 1. I'm not gonna say what I think about the movie yet, but it's number 1. I think number 2 would be. I think. Well, actually, I said last time Fast 1 would be number 3. Actually, I think I'll put Fast 1 number 2. I think I put Fast 1 number 2. Number 3 would be Fast. Oh no, wait, sorry. Number 2 is Tokyo Drift. Number 3 is Fast 1. Number 4 is Fast.
This is what get it right.
And number 5 is Too Fast and Furious. Because again, Too Fast and Furious is enjoyable. So I don't think it's a good movie. But yeah, that's my list. Tokyo Drift number 2 and Fast 5 is number 1, baby. That's the new number 1 for me. What was your list?
This movie number 1, Tokyo Drift. So we're at 2. I'm trying to remember my numbers here. In the third spots where it gets a little tough. I'd go Fast and Furious 1. No. Sorry. Too Fast, Too Furious. No, wait. I'm getting my order mixed up here. Fast and the Furious 1, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and Furious at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, you still putting it as the bottom one. Huh. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the one I think is for me. I'll never go back to it. I just didn't have the enjoyment factor of it. I wish I did.
I don't want to go back to that movie again either, to be honest with you. I even seen the beginning of this movie, like, oh yeah, I don't want to watch that movie again. I don't want to watch that part. What's your list, Henry? Is it changed? Where does Fast 5 land here?
So I'm biased because Fast 5 was. It's been a while since I've watched it, but it was always one of my favorites. So it was always going to be number 1. It was no doubt. I'm like, if this movie is as good as I remember it is, it's going to be number 1. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. And I was right. It's number 1. Like, it's just the one I've watched the most, I think. But I've watched 2 and 3 a lot. But yeah, it's definitely number 1. 5 is number 1. My second one would be the first movie still, because I still like it and the nostalgia factor. The third, I would put number 3 as my third movie. So I think 5, 1, and 3 I enjoy the most. Even though 3 I probably wouldn't watch the whole movie in its entirety. I would go back and watch a lot of the action scenes, but I think I enjoyed it the most.
Okay.
And then I'll put 4, and then I'll put 2 at the bottom.
Okay.
Because I think those 2 are in the same boat as 3, where I wouldn't watch the movie in its totality, and I would just watch the action scenes or the scenes that I like. But I like 3 more than the other in 4 and 2.
Okay.
If I had to, like, if you had to force me to watch one of those movies, then I had to watch 3 over 2 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so very similar to yours. Is I have my I just have 1 and 3 switched around.
Okay. All right. I like the first one. It's just I think Tokyo Drift is a better movie, in my opinion. I think it's just very well done, almost all around. So Fast 1 is good. It's just sometimes think about it now, it could be maybe a little bit boring here and there. But Tokyo Drift, I think, is just a better movie all around, I think. But no, yeah, it's a good list. I mean, Fast 5, it's an incredible movie. And man, just to give my final thoughts, I love this movie a lot. I loved it from beginning to end. I was enjoying myself. I was having a wild time just watching all this shit. I love the dynamic of everybody. Everybody was so good. I was on their point. I loved everything that was going on. I think some things get better on like later in the future movies, like Hobbs gets a little bit better in the future movies. But even then, here I still really enjoyed him. I think he was a good antagonist. I love everything that they did here. I mean, the middle race scene, I don't need that shit in there. Vince was okay, but it was cool to see him. You know, it's a cool, like, I guess an homage for the fans. Like, oh shit, remember Vince? Other than that, I don't really need him in here. But everything, the action, it was top notch. Like practical throughout everything. It's like there's a little bit slight CG here and there. It's not too much. It's barely noticeable. But I love the action in here. Everything's good. The characters are fantastic. I will give it. It's not a perfect movie. It's not a perfect movie, but I kind of felt like a 10 out of 10. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, man. Again, it's not a perfect movie. It's not Citizen Kane. It's not Citizen Kane.
Don't let Danny know that.
I know. I thought about it the whole time. I was like, man, it's just it's again, it's not like one of the best movies of all time. But for what it is, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a great time. I love the hell out of this movie. I was just smiling for the end of the movie. It's like, fuck yeah, man. It's a good time. I really love this movie. Really love this movie. Again, it's not my top 10, top 20 movies or any top list, but I really like this movie a lot. So for what it is, it's 10 out of 10, man. It's beautiful. I know. Come at me, Danny. Come on. Come at me. Like, what's up? Come at me.
1 out of 10. There was no Ja Rule.
There's no Ja Rule, man. He didn't come back for this movie. They brought everybody back instead of him. Disgrace. What are your final thoughts on this, Andy? What's your score? Am I 2 out of line? Am I above all else?
I'll have to dock off a little bit of points. Just a little bit of points. The only time I knew there was CGI was during the bank scene. Because clearly at the beginning, that's clearly a stunt. And then when they're on the bridge, I'm like, okay, that shit's a video game. I'm there for it. But I'm like, I'll dock off 1 point for that, and I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because I had a fun time. I'll admit it. I had a really good time with this movie. And I will be watching this movie again at some point. I'll definitely watch it again. Show my friends. We'll drink some Coronas. Brand beer.
Beer.
And party. And we'll have dry ribs and we'll,
Oh, yeah, man. That's a spirit. Hopefully no one dies after dinner.
I'll have negative vibes the whole movie, No
negativity, man. Always with that negativity. What's the score? What's your score?
9 out of 10.
Okay. That's good. What about you, Henry? Are we crazy here?
He's like, no, don't let Danny see this.
This is by far, I don't know what he was talking about. This is by far better than the fourth movie, and it's better than most of the other movies. Like, it's, like I said earlier, it's not even close. Like, it's one of those ones where not a lot of people, but enough people started with last one or this one. Like, if someone's like, what's the best Fast and Furious movie to show people who never seen Fast and Furious, it's like, I'm showing them this one, because it's like, you get a lot of the different things from different movies, and you get the ensembles, you get a lot of different characters, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. Like, and as long as you're not like thinking too much, but I mean, it's like that for all these movies. Like, it's a 9.5. Like, I'll say 9.25. I'll split the difference.
Okay.
Because there's a few things where, like, watch this again. The first like 40 minutes was a little slow in terms of like it being part, number 4, part 2 with some of the Vince stuff coming up and them trying to get the team together eventually, when that's like 50 minutes into the movie. But once the team comes in, the movie just improves vastly. It's just like off to the moon. I'll say 9.25. Like, it's definitely, a lot of people say this, and I like to agree with them, is the odd movies for the most part are the better movies out of the Fast and Furious.
That's true.
And I'm just like, yeah, it kind of is, because when you think about it, 1, 5, well, not 3 as much, but even 7, all of them have endings where it's like you could just end the franchise here.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to make any more.
All right, that's true.
With all the other ones, it's like there's still stuff hanging in the air and kind of want more. But
Yeah,
5, like you said, like you could just end it here and it
yeah,
would
you
be
could have ended it.
satisfying.
It would have been, yeah, it would have been very satisfying. But I think there's some things they could have still done a little bit more. Like, oh, maybe see what Tej could have done. I don't know, stuff like that. But or like obviously like explain where. All right, if this is the last movie, where the hell's Giselle and Tokyo Drift? Because she's not there, obviously. So, but I don't know. This would have been a cool end cap of the franchise. I think would have been cool, but I don't know. I'm not saying for what they did later, it's bad. We'll talk about future movies, but I don't know. This movie. I think this is where movies for me get a lot more enjoyable as we go along because it took a while to find a stride for me. It's like, all right, even 4, again, it's like it's trying to find its footing, but it's not there yet. This is the one. It's like, boom, we're here. I know you hate that movie. I know you hate that movie. It's on your bottom of your list. But
that's not the movie I hate the most. But yeah, we'll get there.
Well, this is the one. It's like I'm in, man. I love these characters, and like you said, even the first act. Yeah, it's fast forward part 2, but even still, I like that because I guess I'm biased because we're watching these movies back to back. But since I'm investing in these stories and these characters, I liked seeing that setup, so I wasn't bored by it. But I don't know, man. I love this movie. When I say 10, it's not like it's perfect. Again, let me reiterate: it's not like it's perfect. It's not like oh my god, it's an astounding movie. It's just for what it is. I really loved it because they did everything.
For shame, Paddington 2, you bitch.
I guess like everything, production wise, action wise, like everything. It's just beautiful, beautiful movie. So come at me, people. Come at me. Come at me. This is Brasilia. Come at me, man.
This is Brazil.
This is Brazil.
This is Brazil.
This is Brazil. So come at me, man. But let me ask the people.
This is fast.
This is family. Am I out of line? Is anyone here out of line? What do you think of Fast Five? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Where does it rank on your list so far? Is it the bottom? If it's the bottom, you have a problem. We'll talk about that. If you put in the bottom, let's talk about it because you're crazy. I want to know why. But thank you guys again for being here with me. Of course, do not follow Henry anywhere. Do not send Hobbs to find him. Please, Hobbs, don't search his social media. Hobbs, you can't find him, Hobbs. I'm sorry. Can't find him. He's out of reach. Just like Dom said. You're not gonna catch me. So I was like,
Yeah,
there you go.
Got my little familiar.
Got it, familia. Don't go after him. So don't follow him. But Andy might be willing to be found if he's wanted to. He wants to be captured by DEA. So where can they capture you, Andy?
Oh wait, hold on, no. But however, you can find me Andrew Stedel on Facebook, Steady Medley on Facebook, and YouTube Andrew Stedel with the Andrew Stedel podcast and movie reviews as well.
Perfect. So go capture people. Hobbs, go after him, man.
No!
I want to get that Stanley Medley guy. I don't give a fuck. Give him my veggies.
No, I like to listen to music while I'm eating.
Those corny fucking lines, man. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. So, thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for the next movie, which is, I think it's just titled Fast 6, right? Just Fast 6, I think. Not Fast and Furious 6.
Fast and Furious 6.
I think they have 2 titles. They have like Fast 6, Fast and Furious 6. It's like whatever you want to call it. They didn't know what to do at that point. Like Fast 6, sure, we'll just call it that. So
Furious 6.
Furious, oh really? I don't know. Furious 6. Stay tuned for whatever that movie is called. Please stay tuned for that one. My name is Sebastián Sierra. His name is Andrew Stedel. His name is Henry Washington. Nos seguimos aquí. Hablando shit.